Going live. Going live. You're live. Muffled box moving in the background. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. Sorry to be tardy, the microphones were messing us around again. We've got a weird issue with the roads at the moment where just when we turn them on, the receiver, they just don't connect properly. And I'll get the other stool.
That's all right.
Fine. Fine, I won't get you the other stool. Anyway, yeah, they don't connect properly, and then we have to dick around pairing them, and then one of them pairs up, and then the other one just randomly decides it's connected again, and yeah, it's weird.
Or both the microphones will say they're connected to the receiver, and the receiver will say neither are connected.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll have a fiddle with them during the week and see if I can reproduce the problem, because like I used the Rode for recording a video during the week and it just didn't give me any problems. So it might be to do with the way we're switching them both on at the same time or something like that. Who knows? At any rate, right. Hang on a moment. I want to see what got nuked there. Nightbot just automatically kicked in on someone straight away, and was just like, emoji warning. But I'm not sure if that was a legit one or not. This is only the follow-up from that. It doesn't show me what got removed.
You would have to look at Nightbot, the website, I think.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah. I think we need to do some fiddling, but I have a suspicion we might need to dial back the auto mod there.
I set it so it was 4 emojis in a row.
Yeah, see, I probably would have gone for like 5 or 6 minimum, I think. Because like if I'm doing a ha ha ha, I would easily spam laughing emoji 4 or 5 times in a chat. You know.
Goodness, what a rambunctious individual.
Yeah, quite so. Indubitably.
You know, yes. I'm really laughing when I give you 1.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, this is very funny. Ha.
So yeah, don't take it personally, Dutch Linux. The Nightbot is new to the chat. We're still tuning it. Anyway, yeah. Apparently.
Do you want to change that whilst you're thinking of it?
Yeah. Okay. I'll quickly do that now. Well, on the same note, apparently autofocus just hunted.
Oh yes, I forgot to actually do that because you went to do coffee.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a weird start because yeah, we've. Stress. So yeah, but not really.
We only have 1 camera.
Yes.
So people won't be able to see us.
Oh, I see.
You'll have to swap to the background image.
Oh, okay, yeah. I looked down at OBS and OBS looks like it was lagging behind because it was me looking down. And I'm like, yes, because I'm looking down at this. Hang on a sec. Let me get a camera pointing at. I have aspirations of this being a good show. Are you okay with that, Carrot Hog?
Oh my god. I'm impressed by your level of bamboozle.
Hello! There we go. There's the bench cam from the bench. So we're over here now. Okay, right. Hang on a sec. I'm gonna Nightbot. So now it just looks like you guys are really far away. We'll come back. We'll come back.
Fading away.
So, yeah.
Fading away. Fading away.
I'm just tweaking Nightbot. Log in with YouTube.
Also,
I can't do it from this account. Gosh, heck it. I need to be on that account.
Imagine if you'd spent this week sorting out all of the Google accounts and still them being a confusing mess.
Well, as I say, it's a long process because there are many of them. So
also just a case of, oh my god, Google, please, can you make this clearer?
Yeah, it depends. Horses for courses.
It doesn't label what things are, though.
No, this is true. This is true. Yeah, especially like we said about like at the moment, an interesting thing came up where just today I asked myself, what is the Adamant IT2 channel?
What
is it? A channel belonging to one of the other accounts? Because I have a suspicion Adamant IT2 is a YouTube channel belonging to the legacy Google account to which all the original YouTube stuff was started from. Whereas the main channel is now a brand account, which means it is a completely independent entity owned by no one. All right. Oh, are you switching us back? Yeah. Good shout. Okay. So yeah, right. Excess emotes options limit 3. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a bit harsh. I'm going to take that up to like 8, I think. We'll see what that does.
Very well.
If we suddenly find that that is doing nothing, then we can tweak it down again. I'll leave that open, and then we can just tweak it as we go. So yeah. All right. Jail picture front and side. Yeah. It's not toilet paper, it's kitchen roll. Right.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. How are we doing?
Good afternoon.
Yes, indeed. Right, we've got a no post. This came in this morning. We were going to just do a show where we were just going to talk about speccing computers, because that's still something I want to do. I just want to talk about, like if we were building a computer today or tomorrow, what would we build? Like pick a couple of different price points, or a couple, like, for example, I want to spec up an AM5 system, because I don't think AM5 is worth going for right now unless you're building top end. But I'm like, if someone came in and they said, I want a Ryzen 7000 computer, what can you do? Because it's like at the moment, I'm like, I don't actually know how much DDR5 costs. I just know it's expensive.
Depends. Depends. It also depends on what you call expensive, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's that thing of it depends on what you're comparing to.
Yeah. So I think there's an interesting discussion to be had there. So yeah. Oh no, Dutch Linux just got net. Dutch, did you do that on purpose that time? Was that one deliberate or was that one an accident? Please give me an actual answer, because we need to tweak the bot.
Using only alphanumeric characters.
Yes.
No Unicode.
So yeah. Did you actually bash in like more than 8 emoji that time? So 50-year gamer, thank you very much for the £10. How you doing, man? Because that's the thing. At the moment, yeah, I don't know who's getting bots legitimately and who's just deliberately provoking the bot now. So, okay, right.
Oh.
AM5 Mobos are horrendous pricing. Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't know how much. Like, can you get one for £300? Because if you were building like a 7900X, or even maybe a 7700X, £300 Mobo, it's not horrendous.
I would expect the price on them to be trending downwards about now.
Yeah.
Just because we'll be on the second delivery.
Yeah, well, that's just it. There we go. I want to look. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Bigfoot didn't get shot then.
Because there was a space.
Ah.
That's what I'm saying about like the emoji filter thing is.
It's a bit dim-witted, isn't it? Yeah, easily defeatable. But then on the yeah. Yeah. Fine. I'm yeah. What we care about is whether it can pick up the pawn bots. That's what we actually want to tune it to deal with. The pawn bots, just to auto shoot them, so we don't need moderators just to get the pawn bots for us. Right. Let's talk about this. So yeah, this machine came in this morning, and I was like, oh, this looks fun. Let's do this on the podcast. So this is an AM4 system. It's a Ryzen system. It's in an NZXT H210i, I think, and it does not post. The history of it is it's just come back into the country, and it was booked on a flight as luggage. So I believe it was in like a suitcase, and it got banged about in transit, basically. Apparently, the graphics card was loose, the memory was loose, and stuff like that. There is visible damage around the PCI Express slot on this. So basically, we want to find out whether it can actually be. Yeah, we need to find out if anything is actually broken, or if it just needs rebuilding, or what. So yeah, let's see how we do. They didn't do the peel. Apparently not. However, there's only 2 people that have a right to do the peel: the owner or the builder. in my opinion. The builder is allowed to do the peel. Fight me. However, I am neither the owner nor the builder, so we are not doing the peel.
Do you know what I'm going to do to make it even more annoying?
What are you going to do to make it even more annoying?
Find some sellotape.
What, to make sure the peel doesn't accidentally come
roll
off?
the peel up and then just tape it back down.
So, yeah. Did I ask the customer's permission? Yeah, I said to them, yeah, I'm probably going to do it on my podcast. So they might show up. They might be in the chat. Who knows? So yeah. But yes, in any case, given that the owner of this PC might be watching at any given time, be nice, people. Don't be dorks. Don't be like, oh, rah, 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 rah. It's a nice PC. Don't be gatekeepers. But I trust you guys to be sensible. Hello, Pianov. How you doing? Put some bread in it, Caradog. Looks like a toaster. Okay.
That requires an awful lot more force than I expected.
I noticed that as well. Yeah, they do weaken over time. Because when my H400i or H500i when I first got it was quite difficult to open, and that definitely weakened over time. So right, yeah, we're gonna lay it down. Shall I get the bench cam? I'll get the bench cam.
Can do.
Yeah, I'll get the bench cam just so people can peer in and be like, ah.
Have you done anything with this?
All I have done is a BIOS reset because I wanted to make sure that this wouldn't be a 30-second fix and be another one of our classic no fault found repair streams. Not that that's ever happened to us before.
Okay.
We have never ever tried to fix something on stream only to find it was a no fault found. This is in fact the best home appliance repair channel on YouTube. It's not a no fault found, we just fix it with magic fingers.
I mean, they do fix an awful lot of problems.
It's true. Stand by while I just stand here. I should have set this up originally anyway. Yeah, so let's plug it in and turn it on just for good measure and just establish that it hasn't come back to life. I swear, if it posts, I will be furious. Because I tested this earlier on today. I tested this to make sure it was dead. If it works, I will legitimately be furious. But then, well, actually, if it works, I will just assume that we have a magic show and we can just fix anything just by placing it on this bench.
Do you want to swap to the carefully pre-prepared scene?
Absolutely.
The scene of glory.
Right, so we want bench cam with face. Or do we want... No, we want face with bench because we're not expecting to see anything. Oh, wait, yeah.
No, you want face with capture.
Face with capture. There we go. Look, I'm clinging to the top of the capture. Hello. Good, right, we've turned it on. What do we use to clean laptop screens? Glass cleaner. All right, so we've got fan spin, we've got lights, we've got sounds, we've got action. There's just no display output, which is exactly what we expected. Have we got any diagnostic LEDs on this motherboard? I don't think we have. No, it's a fairly low-end motherboard, so we don't have a lot to work with there. And because it's ITX, it's very, very crowded in this system. How about a light shining into the case? Yeah, we'll have that in a moment. Fine. All right, so I'll relocate
that one.
Yep, relocate that over there.
Yeah. One.
Right, let's take that up. Take that off. Do that. Ugh. So it can loom. There we go. That should give some modest light into the case. Well, kind of, anyway. Bench cam with face. All right. Okay, so where are you starting?
With taking out the graphics card, only because you said you spotted damage.
Oh yeah, you can
so
have a look.
So I was going to have a ganders at that.
Yep, that's fair. We're not going to be able to show super details because because of the way the camera setup works, we can't focus the bench cam from here. That's something that I need to sort out. So yeah, you'll just have to take our word for it and just have a generalized overview. So yeah,
it's there.
We'll do another CMOS reset in a minute just to satisfy everyone. However, I did a CMOS reset. I disconnected the BIOS battery. It's got a fly lead battery. I took out the BIOS battery before the stream, and that did not fix it. So I already know that's not going to work. But we'll do it again just for good measure, just to satisfy everyone. Let's see. Do we have a different CPU? Yep. We have a different everything. So we can just throw parts at this until it works again. The interest for today is to figure out what it needs so we know what the customer will have to purchase. Is there any damage on the card itself? I think it's just the slot that looks a bit unhappy.
I think that's ever so slightly bent, but yeah, that's not a problem. That's got bent slightly. But like actual performance,
yeah,
functioning wise, no, I don't think so. That is a tiny PCB.
Yeah.
Literally just that.
Yeah. Is it a TI or a 3060 vanilla?
3060 vanilla.
Yeah.
That is tiny.
That's fair. There's the PCI Express clip. Oh, I'm glad that's in there because I noticed that was missing. You did 1 emoji test, 2 emoji, 3, 4, and the test failed. Okay.
Oh yeah, there's a tiny bit of a mark on the edge of the slot, isn't there?
Access emotes. Options. Oh, it's 5-minute timeout.
What?
Yeah, that wasn't the intent.
Accidentally times out the entirety of chat.
Yeah, I'll change that to 5 seconds. I've changed it to 5 seconds. We'll see what that does. I thought the timeout was set to. I thought the timeout was set to thing, but yeah, fine. Right. Okay. Would you attempt a PCI slot replacement? Probably not. Not on a customer PC. Well, not unless it was a really exotic motherboard. Not unless it was a super exotic motherboard, because otherwise the cost of replacing the motherboard would almost certainly be less than the cost of repairing it. I'd like to attempt that at some point. I've still got an AM3 socket, and I want to attempt an AM3 socket replacement. I think we're going to do that on a podcast in the near future, because I'm never going to get around to making a video on it. So I think we should just do it on the podcast. Try HDMI. It's AMD, no onboard graphics. We're nowhere near that point yet, though. The next thing I think we'll be doing is taking out the motherboard and starting to test all of this on the bench, and then we'll work backwards from there.
But it's definitely not as simple as, the GPU broke in transit.
Yeah.
There is definitely heat, though, just because the liquid temperature, as reported by the screen, has gone up from 19 to 21.
Fair enough, yeah. Yeah. We'll grab the GPU test rig at in a time and plug this in and just see if we get a picture on that as well. Put an ARC 770 in there. Did I set up a banned word list on Nightbot? Not yet. That's not an invitation to put things to the test. Ironic shitposting is still shitposting. You've been warned. Never the CPU unless it is. I doubt it. Well, yeah, I mean, I think the motherboard has been banged about, and that concerns me. But to be honest, it might be the CPU just needs reseating or something like that. Just because, just everything's been banged about with this.
That's a tiny looking stick.
What make is it?
Clev.
Yeah. Those are nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
They look nice without being large. Clev Boltex.
Yeah.
It is DDR4 3200.
Yeah.
Nothing super exotic, but perfectly adequate. Am I now doing YouTube shorts? I have done for ages. Yeah, this is like the 4th or 5th short I've done on YouTube this on Friday. I want to get into the habit of doing them more often, just because they're very good for the algorithm. But yeah, it's not the first one I've done. Daft question: dongles for the K400. How are the USB dongles connected to the lanyards? I drill a hole through it, literally. I get a really small drill bit and I drill a hole diagonally through the corner of it, so I miss the circuit board inside, and then I can thread a lanyard thread through there. So yeah, you hate shorts, but you understand the need for the algo. Yeah, there is some really you can do. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do interesting things. Like, I don't want to do shorts that are memes. I want to do shorts where it's just like it's a tech tip in 60 seconds, basically. So people can actually do that and just get a really quick tip. And because like the most successful one I did was where I showed people how you can merge USB headers together on USB 2 headers. Where if you've got 2 USB 2 headers and only one port on the motherboard, you can merge the pins onto a single header because it's 2 ports. And that one is really, really popular, you know, and it's a quick way of getting information of just things you might not know out there. And also just stuff where it can be like, you know, invitation of just like, if I come across something really interesting and be like, hey, I found this really interesting trick. Here's the trick. If you want to know more about this, check out the video that's coming out this week, kind of thing. I'll tell you the details about it there, but now you know this exists, kind of thing. That's the theory. Cable extensions must be a nightmare behind the back panel. Oh yes, oh yes. Luckily it has an SFX power supply in it, but that's more or less mandatory on these tiny cases. Don't let YouTube pressure you into quantity over quality. Yes and no. It's a balance. I don't follow every trend on YouTube. However, there's, you know, the thing is, when I chose to expand into a bigger shop with YouTube funding, I also chose to play the YouTube game there. I now have to play the YouTube game to an extent. This shop does not pay for itself. YouTube pays for some of it. So to that extent, we've got to do some of the game, you know? But as I say, I try to be tasteful about it. I try to be tasteful. All right. Motherboard is coming out. Are we going to try and bend that around, or are we just going to take the cooler straight off?
I was more just extracting parts, working out what I was doing. I'm just going to take this off and replace it now.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to say, shall we just kind of hold it and just see if it posts out the case before we disturb the CPU?
Can do.
Just so we can identify what fixed it, basically. Like if this was a matter of make it work, I would say remove it. But I'm kind of tempted to say let's just stick it on a box and say, has removing it from the case achieved anything?
Oops, all the way around.
I think the answer will be no. But I'm, you know, just for argument's sake, I'm just going to get a box. Ugh. There we go.
I require a power supply.
Yes.
Oh, good heavens.
I'm on a live show. I can't. Bloody hell. Someone at the door going, are you open? I'm like, no, I'm not. All right.
There we go.
Actually am going to have to start closing blinds because no. I get steadily more angry at people who cannot understand what I am closed means. It's incredibly frustrating. Because that guy looked really annoyed that I just said, no, I'm not here kind of thing. And it's just like, no, I'm closed and I'm doing a live stream. Can you see me sitting out the back with studio lights pointing at my face? Right. Hello, everyone. Continuing. Right, let's see. Yeah, there are opening times. The door is locked. The front of house lights are off. But the problem is you can see us in the back through the front. So I've closed the blind now, so you can't see us here. But I shouldn't have to. That's why it annoys me. I'm closed. That means I'm not open. Okay. Right, that looks good.
Somewhere down there, maybe.
Oh, the water cooler's not going to run without the wiring harness.
No.
Yeah, so... well, actually, no, it's good enough for us to get a post, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. What are you looking for? Power on?
Yeah.
Let me get the widget. Also, no HDMI.
Oh, whoops.
Where is front panel?
I think it's one of these ones.
USB 3. Oh god, it's not clear, is it? Yeah. That way around.
This is like, I am uncertain.
All right.
Are you on? Oh, there you
go. All right, ready? Oh, that doesn't look happy.
Why do you have lights?
Whatever's happening there, I don't like it. I'm unplugging that. Let me look close. Panel 1. Oh boy. Okay.
The least clear front panel.
Yeah, did you see what was plugged in where when it was in the system? Oh, there's an easy way to check this because of keying. Front panel has the top brightness, and so it's that one. That's the front panel. Right, how about that? Nope, are we on? Yep. Nope. Oh, am I going to have to get the heckin' motherboard for this thing? The motherboard? Am I going to have to get the manual out for this just to actually figure out which one's what? Right, panel 1, that must be front panel. And the USB, where's the USB header in this thing? There. USB, the blanked pin is in the lower right. So yeah, that one's USB and that one's front panel. So yeah, that was correct. I was right. That should be in there. And the top row is the power button. Oh, there we go. Yeah, maybe I just didn't press the button properly. Okay. So let's see. Face cam with capture.
Yeah, there are no LEDs there, are there?
We should have plugged in a beep speaker as well. In fact, I tell you what, do you just want to turn off the power supply a sec? I'm just going to grab a beep speaker just so we can check if we're getting a beep code. There's one. Are you trying to tell us anything? Right, where would beep speaker be? Might be that guy there. This is the problem with these ITX boards, is it's chuffing difficult to find anything on them. And what's that? Stick in my head. The audio. That head is not labeled, so yeah, I think. Yeah, do you want to pull up the manual for this board? Just so we can see the layout. LED.
B550. MITX-AC, isn't it?
Correct, yes.
Wop, 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 wop. Support. How to turn on. Manual English, please.
Right. Yeah, we need to go down.
Speaker.
Oh, that is the speaker. Yep, and
yes.
pin 1 is at the bottom. Okay. Cool. All right. Powering on again. There we go. Change places.
Aggressive loud beeping ensues.
No, no beeps. Ah,
it posted.
It did post. Is that going to start booting Windows? I'm going to get ready to change just in case it does.
No video input entering sleep mode.
Okay, it power cycled, but yeah, there you go. It's booting Windows. Okay,
cool.
Right, I'm going to change off for that.
But,
yep, captures off because customer data. All right, it has posted.
Cool. I'm going to get that to desktop and then.
Yeah. Okay. So let's power it down. So, all right. So we know this. We know the RAM, the CPU, and the motherboard now work. So I guess.
And importantly, the slot works.
Yes.
For the
yeah.
GPU.
The PCI Express slot works. All right.
And the SSD works.
Yes. Well, back into the case then. Maybe it was just fitment in the case.
Before that.
This is why I didn't want to take off the cooler, because if we'd taken off the cooler, we wouldn't know if reseating the CPU had been involved or not. Oh yeah, that's a reasonable plan.
Where'd the PCIe one go? Come here.
BIOS upgrade, next please. Yeah. It looks like we may have solved this already, which is boring because it just came out the case, but this is good for the customer though, because it means they don't need spare parts. Like that's the thing. For like this is one of the weird things about making videos about computer repair is, in a way, you want there to be a faulty part, so you can be like, okay, the motherboard is dead, it needs a new motherboard. Whereas refitting everything and then it comes back to life. There was recently a comment on one of the newer videos that said, "Oh, do you not get any desktops anymore? Haven't seen any desktops in a while on the channel." And I replied to it and I said, "No, the reason is the last few desktops that have come in have been like this, where I've set up, I've done the video intro, and then I took the BIOS battery out, put it back in again, and it worked." And I was just like, "That's boring. Stop recording." And the video got scrapped because a BIOS reset is boring, basically. So yeah, however, for the sake of the customer, this is good because it means the customer doesn't need to buy any new parts. So yeah. Might be because the RAM was reseated and it did RAM training. Yeah, that could have been it. Yep. The customer said the RAM was loose, but I don't know if they actually took it out and put it back in properly or whether they just clicked it back into place. So it could have been that. But yeah, okay.
We've also not tested the power supply.
Oh, we're on a different power supply, aren't we?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So still could be power supply. All right, so fine. Okay, so yeah, we're going back into the... yeah, are we going back into the case or
loosely? Yeah. I was just going to swing this around into the case so the power supply could be plugged in.
Yep. All right. Are you happy to keep?
Yeah.
Let me know if you want to tag out at any point.
It's fine. I'm going to give you the job of tidying it up.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. No problem.
Have we still got the front panel doodad? Yes. Good. I just require you. Oh, there's no length on that. Please may you hold this. Because I need to go upright. There you go. Now, I can...
ITX, everyone.
There you go.
Another customer came in today and was just like, "Oh, I want one of these. Do you recommend it?" And I was like,
No.
No. It's a lovely case, but don't build in one of these. Don't get me wrong, it works. However, if you're new to building, this is not the place to start. So...
Oh no. Oh, it's cable tied in as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Horrifying.
So I can get that much off there. I can come off there, maybe?
Okay, right. Right, yeah, what are we looking for?
I was just trying to free up enough power. I was just trying to free up enough power supply cable space.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But I'm just going to have to refit, basically.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, because, yeah. See, part of me was going to be like, sort of, no, we'll just cut all this out because I'm going to recable tidy it anyway. But actually, it's a case of, well, actually, I'm not required to redo all of the cabling in here. I unplugged that earlier on.
Fine, okay.
Yeah. Because I
was just making sure it wasn't spare.
I thought that was going to prevent it from booting. However, clearly it's got an M.2 in it. So yeah.
Fine. Okay. Fine.
What are my thoughts on the new Arc GPUs? Well, the 770 that everyone's been talking about lately. Yeah, I noticed that. There's a lot of just schmutz on this board. I think it's flux residue. I think it's just bad manufacturing.
Or is it just Malaysia? High humidity?
Don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of schmutz on the back of the motherboard.
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough to cause problems, but just interesting.
Look at all of that.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, all the CPU V-core caps are on the back of the board for space. And again, there's just a little bit of schmutz on all of them, but...
Please may you put the case flat.
I may. Yeah.
It's slightly too big to do one-handed.
Yeah. The Arc 770. Hardware looks very interesting, but obviously based on everyone's reviews, the drivers are completely broken, apparently. Are you still going to get one?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. What's your timescale for that? As soon as you can reasonably can?
As soon as I can... because I want the actual, like, Intel one.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to buy it day one to get that.
Oh, yeah, because it's not actually released yet, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. When's the release date? Do you know?
No.
Okay.
I think it might be the 13th. I think that's when the 4090 comes out.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's the same date as the 4090.
Oh, hello, Nina. Yes. The owner is in chat. Too scared to put your hand back. Yeah, we've had it working, so it's alive. We're just rebuilding now, basically. So, yeah.
Also, if you built this, good lord, the Tetris.
Yes. How long did AMD drivers mature? Yeah, that's difficult because it depends on manpower, you know. Because, like, isn't it something like NVIDIA's driver team is bigger than the entirety of AMD or something like that?
That was certainly the last estimate I heard. That will sit? Yes.
Yeah, whereas Intel are obviously a big company and they can just get a big old team and just say, fix it.
Does
which is probably
this
what
conveniently come out? Oh, yeah, it does.
Yes, that cover strip can be removed.
Just because
and yeah, while we're diagnosing,
the ATX
actually,
is also the wrong side.
Yeah. Yeah, while we're diagnosing, removing that strip would actually help out a lot. It is a bit of an animal to remove, if my memory serves me, so just be prepared for that.
I will be prepared for the four-dimensionalness.
Yeah.
Wait, does it use two different types of screw? Oh, no, okay. It just looked like there were different threads for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, excuse me?
No, those
do
are the
not.
Yeah. I very much want to go back to an AMD GPU, but you know, we had this conversation last week, though. You know, it doesn't make sense for me to buy
screwing from the back as well?
Oh, it might be actually. If you want to hold the motherboard, we'll go up. I'll take it upright and sort you out. I'll sort you out, Caradog.
Or can you jiggle the 24 pin just to be on the other side?
Yeah, I might just do that.
So it just comes up here.
Oh yeah, there's another. Hang on a sec. There's one more screw. Where's the big boy? This. I was about to say this is not a two-man job, but it kind of is and kind of isn't. I mean, we're trying to shortcut everything. Is the thing really? If you had unlimited time, personally, I would meticulously disassemble this computer and rebuild it again. But on the other hand, a computer like this takes a long time to rebuild because of ITX woes. Come on. The screw is out. I'm just trying not to drop the screw into the nest. There we go. Right. Is that strip coming out now? Oh my god. What's still holding this thing in? Are we abandoning the... There are times when you fiddle with something and you have to be like, no, let go, just let it go and walk away for a moment. Otherwise, I'm going to rip it off.
There is something...
I think there might be a screw under the bottom of the case as well. Either way, I'll reroute the cable.
No, there's like a sticky outy bit of this plate.
It definitely comes out, but yeah.
I think it kind of forcibly levers.
Yeah,
and it is
I know it's an animal to remove.
Displeasurable.
Yeah. All right. Okay, that should be fine. Let's go flat again. Are you sure you want the ATX coming out that side?
We will do when we're finished.
Cool. Okay.
But yeah.
Right. Again, I'll let you carry on. Don't want to be too... that case is not big enough for two people to work on it at the same time. So I'm just going to be like, this is one I want to help, but also it's just like, let the man work.
There we go.
There we go. There we go. That's the, I think this is called the accent strip or something like that. And if you remove it, you get a great deal more space to work in the case. Ugh. Turnip Gaming 97, thank you very much for the tenner. Good afternoon, lads.
Aye.
Speaking of SSDs, you recently watched a repair video of a Series X that was purchased on eBay. And either the seller did a major mistake by formatting the SSD, making it an expensive brick. Oh dear. Interesting. I'd be surprised if they managed to completely brick it, because the thing that makes the Xbox's SSD special is the firmware, and there's no way they could have messed that up. So it must have just been a matter of needing to do the correct software restore. But actually software restoring an Xbox from scratch can be surprisingly awkward. They can be surprisingly fussy at times, where you're doing everything correct and it still just kicks an error back at you. We had someone in the Discord this week that was having that exact problem.
Yeah, that ended up being they were using non-original size drive, therefore the operating system would not permit it.
Yeah, they changed. They had a 480 gig SSD in there, and it didn't like it. That was the problem, wasn't it? So yeah. Do we check the standoffs? Are the standoffs correct on it? Well, they probably are actually. Well, we'll check in a minute because we'll have to put the screws back in. But yeah, it's worth making sure that they're correct just in case. But I'm sure they're fine. I'm surprised an AIO cooler can fit. Yeah, well, that's the thing. This case is very compact and it's very difficult to build in. But the party piece is that there's not a lot of ITX cases where you can stick a 240mm AIO in them. And this case was specifically designed with that in mind. It's a really good case. It's just very difficult to build in. We did a build in one of these on the podcast quite a while back because my friend John has one of these cases. And we rebuilt his PC, and yeah, it's a lot of work building in one of these. When they work, they're great, but building in them is not for the faint of heart. Have I seen the new Google Pixel 7? I have not.
It looks like this.
Don't know. Have you seen the Pixel 7?
Yes.
Is it interesting?
It looks like this.
It looks just like, you mean it looks just like a Pixel 6, yeah. Because
with a silver bar.
Fair enough.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So
looks good. Looks good.
Yeah. Very well. Right. ITX takes build discipline. Yeah, definitely agree with that.
Like, I'd get a Pixel 7 Pro if I didn't have a Pixel 6 Pro.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely seem, yeah.
It's like
It's the old story. It's never worth getting the latest phone every single time. You should always skip at least one generation, maybe two, to be honest.
Like, if I had someone to, you know, give it away to, sort of thing, then, you know, maybe. But, like, I don't have any need for it.
Is it worth, or do you want to quickly pop out the M.2 just so we can actually take it into BIOS without having to cut the capture every time?
Sure.
Yeah. Do
you want to pull the one out of the
yeah, what I'll do, I'll grab the one out of this one because this is this one's very easy to get to, and this has got a nondescript install of Windows on it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It just means that we can actually take the PC into Windows without having to immediately go, customer data. So yeah. Damn it. This SSD is glued to the back of its heatsink.
Don't use glue.
There we go.
Oh my.
Are you winning? Does the AIO fan suck or push in? It pulls in through the front. It pulls in through. It pulls in through this vent, and there's another one of these vents on the other side of the case as well. So these cases are not famous for their airflow, but they are functional. I had, like I mentioned earlier on in the stream, I had the bigger version of this case, and again, the airflow on it isn't very good, but it works. You know, I was running a 3070 in one of these, and it was fine. The fans have got to work a little bit harder, but they work. And then, yeah, we've got case fans at the back that are exhausting. Definitely having two exhaust fans on one these NZXT cases is a definite yes.
They're very much designed for negative air pressure. Negative pressure, yes.
Negative air pressure, yes. Yeah, negative air pressure does do these cases a lot of favors. Unfortunately, that means they can get a bit more dusty. But yeah, add some maintenance. All computers need a degree of maintenance, so. Yeah, I quite like these two-tone cable extensions. I think the next time I buy cable extensions for a computer, I'm going to get two-tone ones. I'm a bit scared of getting them because they commit you to a certain color scheme, and you can't just change colors. When, like, one of the great things about RGB is when you get bored of the way the computer looks, you can just change the color of your RGB. Bam, you've got a new look, kind of thing. And if you commit to a color of wiring, then you kind of lose that ability. But I think I might put in like black and grey or black and white or something like that. Tony Gaming, thank you for the £5. Because the removable SSD is linked to the motherboard, and because the serial numbers are stored on the SSD, formatting it will brick it permanently. Huh. Very well then. Okay.
I just also don't understand how you format an SSD like that.
Yeah, not sure how.
In the console.
Yeah, or failing that, you know, like the console must have a means of factory resetting, and that, you know, the console's built-in factory reset method must surely not brick it. The only thing I can imagine without having I mean, this is kind of redundant because I've not looked at the content. I don't know the situation. I have no idea what I'm talking about. The only thing I can imagine is that the owner of said Xbox had removed the SSD, plugged it into something else, formatted it, and then put it back in the Xbox again. So I can see how that might have upset it. even though you should be allowed to do that, I can understand why that might have upset it. But yeah. So yes. You had a build with black and grey cables, looked fantastic and didn't commit you to a colour. Yeah, I like the idea of that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right, we're coming back on again. Let's go face cam with capture. So we should get a post this time. Okay, there's a beep. There we go. It lives. Cool. Right, so we're going into Windows. Shall we, since we're going into, we should have put the bench one in there after all, but this has probably got something on it. We should probably hit it with a load and just make sure it doesn't immediately wet the bed.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna plug in the AIO next.
Oh, we not got cooling still. Yeah, okay, yeah.
One thing at a time.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention, so I'm trying to stay in the loop of what's going on. I'm trying to give commentary on something that I'm not paying attention to. Overrun says you're probably going to upgrade from the Pixel 4 to the Pixel 7. I mean, that would make sense if you're down on a Pixel 4. Yeah, that would make sense.
Hush now.
No more tears, only dreams.
No more dreams, only tears.
Let's go back to benchcam with face.
Which way around does that go in? Does it go?
It should
back
be
of
keyed.
pin? Does it go back of pins up or? Oh.
Not sure. It will be keyed. So if it's not plugging in, you're putting it in the wrong way round. You're thinking about your messy desktop. Yeah, don't worry about it. We won't show your Windows desktop on stream.
It's here. It is hidden. It is removed.
That's why we just swapped out the SSDs, so it won't come up with any of your user data, because that's a minefield. That's the other reason why we don't do live repairs normally. However, in this case, because this is not a software issue, we can very easily just put in a different Windows drive.
Ah, the squares, they move.
Mm-hmm. Why did it reboot? It's hard to tell. We're messing it around a lot at the moment.
It rebooted because I pressed the power button.
Ah, okay.
And I pressed it, not held it.
You double tapped it. Yeah.
And I meant to go.
Okay, right. So we've got cooling. Oh dear, liquid was up at 32. So yeah, we were pushing the envelope with that a little bit. Okay, let's go.
Also, it just appears to double post.
We'll see if that fixes itself, because like I said, we're messing it around, and motherboards do weird things when you're dicking around with them. Whereas if it actually has a couple of nice clean restarts and shutdowns and restarts, that'll probably straighten that out.
There you go.
So yeah, cool. All right, I'll grab a toolkit flash drive, and we'll just quickly hit it with a load and just make sure it doesn't immediately fall over and die.
There you go. I have a mouse.
I don't know if we've already got. I don't know if we've got anything installed on this. It doesn't look like it, so yeah, may as well lob on new toolkit, and then have we got? We've got hardware info. Cinebench is on there somewhere. Yeah, there's Cinebench down the bottom. And Firmark is there, so that's something. That's enough that we can just actually put a load on this and make sure it doesn't immediately reset and die.
We have a Ryzen 7 5.
Yeah. Oh, is there too many caps?
There you go.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh yes, the BIOS has definitely been reset. We'll need to reset that.
The what?
The BIOS has reset.
Oh
we'll definitely need to set
that. That's not surprising because I reset the BIOS. So, excess caps 8. Let's change that to like 20. Yeah. Again, apologies if anyone is getting bapped by the chatbot. We're still tuning it, so we're kind of tuning that as we go, just to figure out what we need to set that to. I've just loosened off the caps thing. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. Are we going to do a video on the apps that we include in the USB toolkit? Oh, it's really hard because there's so many.
But also no, because several of them are a case of, yes, we use tools.
Yeah. And like, yeah, that's the thing. It's just, it's the same as the actual like physical, like the workshop tools. I am starting to make a list of workshop tools, but like that's a video that will have parts to it, because if I did it in one go, that will be an hour-long video just to go through all the tools, so yes. What could give a monitor a no signal? Lots of things. Unfortunately, I mean, that's what we've essentially been addressing with this repair here. However, we solved it fairly quickly. Well, I say we solved it. We found it. We got it working fairly quickly, so we didn't really get as far as doing much systematic testing. And I've been wanting to do a good no-post video, but this is why there's been no desktop stuff on the channel. Is like the last 5 desktops I've had in for repair have all been just reset BIOSes. So, and even this one, we didn't find any faulty parts. We just took it apart and put it back together again. So, right, what are temperatures looking like?
60.
60. What's the CPU?
5700.
5700. Yeah, 60 under load on 5700X. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. It's low.
Although, it'll need 20 minutes for heat soak to set in. That'll probably creep up.
Well, yeah, but also I'd expect it to jump straight to 80.
The 5800X would do that, but I wouldn't expect that. Well, no, not on a 5700X, surely.
Why? It's the same chip, isn't it?
Well, the 5800X is a single CCX with all the cores on it, though.
Yeah.
That's why it's such an animal.
It's literally the same thing with lower clocks.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know much about the 5700X, actually. I very rarely see it. Oh, well, I think this is the first 5700X I've actually seen.
New.
Is it?
Yeah. When did it come out? About 6 months ago?
Oh.
5 months ago? Something
Interesting. Did it not come out at the same time as the 56 and the 5800X then?
No.
Oh. Okay then.
Hence it being new.
Understandable. Have a nice day. Very well. Good. Okay. Cool.
It's the slightly more well-behaved version.
Yeah. Well, in that case, those temps are pretty good then. So yeah, again, we're probably going to see a little bit of temperature creep as the heat soak sets in. However, it's not skyrocketing up to 1,000,000 degrees, which means we've still got a good mount on the CPU cooler as well. This also means that we don't need to bother doing the thermal paste because it has a good mount. If you have a good mount, don't touch it because there's no guarantee. Like if we could take the CPU cooler off, clean it up and put new thermal paste on, and then get worse temperatures because we got a bad mount. So yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Cool. All right. Let's hit it with Firmark as well, just to make sure the GPU is okay. It's 100 megahertz left. Oh, is it only 100 megahertz down? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you have Heaven.
I just haven't installed. Oh, yeah, the installer for it. Yeah. That toolkit has got a reasonable amount of good stuff on it. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, it looks like I've got most of the stuff there.
Screw you, Windows 11.
This is what you're complaining about, isn't it? The inability to drag anything to the taskbar. Now you have to drag it to desktop like some kind of poor person.
Also, having left click there is incredibly handy with this.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Logitech knew what they were doing with these keyboards. They were designed to be used from a sofa so you could two-hand the keyboard.
The only thing that's... Oh no, these are unifying, aren't they?
Yes, some of them aren't, some of them aren't. All of mine are unifying. I've got a couple that aren't, but those are broken, I think. Or no, I think that one isn't unifying. I forget. There's one of them around here somewhere isn't unifying. I can't remember which one though.
I'd hope it is because they got the same model number on them.
Oh, there's like a million variations of the K400 Plus. It's very frustrating. It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me.
Agree. Oil Rush. Oh man, that's yes, old preset. Extreme.
Oh yeah, well it's the 3060 in there, and we're at 1080p, so it should be able to bash this over the head.
Fix your friends.
I'm trying to decide, like, if I manage to pick up the VPN deal that has been spoken about, I'm trying to decide whether to try and do my own comedic advert for that, and be like, you know, is your computer broken? That's because you're not on a VPN, kind of thing.
No,
you know.
No.
Oh, very well then. Ah.
Also, you have dust in your hair.
Do I have dust in my... Are you just talking about my grey patch?
No, you have.
Thanks, dear. The stream can't hear the music because I've got the capture volume turned off. However, the Unigen Heaven music is very calming. Good. All right, we'll give that 5 minutes to do it. Bromance. All right, let's see.
Oh, we have temperatures there. Cool.
Yep. Did I see LTT's stream of the 3060 versus the A770? No, I saw that they were doing it, and it looks like a really interesting stream. I have not watched it yet. I might watch it over the weekend. I'll see how I feel. But on the flip side, knowing that Caradog is probably going to pick one up at some point, I might wait and see, because I think we could have some interesting content there, because if we're buying one on release, that's gonna we could make a video about that and be like, right, this is not a review sample, this is not the one that all the other mainstream channels have done. This is a release version after release, when there's probably already been a driver update because now they've been released. You can buy these now, are they still broken, kind of thing. Have they fixed it for release?
My answer will be no.
Yes, however,
yeah,
knowing the answer in advance doesn't mean that there's not an interesting video to be made. We can still demonstrate that the answer is still no.
My answer will probably be no.
Yeah.
However, the thing I want to do as well is, I get the feeling that like the driver page for the ARC GPUs is going to vanish very quickly. And then all of the references for ARC GPUs off the Intel website will disappear very quickly. And we'll end up in 2 years' time where there's no mention of it having ever existed.
Do you think they're going to bin it?
Given that this was a card that they teased in 2018, releasing within 12 months.
Well, I think they're in too deep. I think they're going death or glory.
I mean, they've already died.
Well, they have...
I guess that which is already dead cannot die.
Yeah, I think... Right, I'm gonna power up. I'm gonna open a Cider. I was watching Wan's show earlier on today, so I'm going to power up what Linus said because I agree with him.
Your glass must be still actually in the kitchen.
Yeah, are we going to share some of this Crumpton Oaks to see how bad it is?
Absolutely.
Behold, a bottle of cider that cost 88 pence. That's like $1. This is $1 cider. Let's see how bad it is. What bottle opener would we like to use today?
I'm gonna try and successfully use this one.
Okay. Then I'm gonna use the hammer of Thog.
You need to decisively. If you just kind of go.
Imagine if we got enough practice to be able to hold it here and literally just go bang on the bottle without just making a mess. How cool
I
would
wouldn't
that
do that with
no
someone else's computer there.
It would be very cool if you could pull that off though, and just be like, and just not say anything, 88 pence is approximately $1, I believe. Yes. Okay.
I was watching a review of beer the other day, and apparently you have to describe the head by a number of fingers.
I suppose. However, if there's more than one finger, I think there's too much head there. Like I think even a Guinness, you only have like maybe 2 fingers. Otherwise, you just can't pour a pint. That looks very crisp. This might just
I've
be
been shortchanged.
Why?
Because I thought these were pint
Oh
bottles.
yeah, it has come in at slightly under a pint. Yeah.
They are all 500ml bottles. I thought they were pint bottles. I thought, yeah, fair enough. I shortchanged myself.
Okay, right. I'm going to drink from the opposite side of the pint line.
Yes.
It's just boring. There's nothing happening there. You try it and see what you think. Like, it's not disgusting or anything, but it's like Strongbow. There's just nothing there. You're like, when's the flavour? You know? It's just bland, isn't it? It's just like, yes, this is technically cider.
Wow.
I'm flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted by how mediocre that is.
You know the generic found in Lidl, found in Aldi cherry pop?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know the fizz that has that is different to other carbonated soft drinks? It's that.
I know what you mean.
It's the generic 12p bottle of pop fizz.
I know exactly what you mean.
But there is just nothing
it's
there.
Like they've used low quality carbon dioxide in this, you know? Like it's carbon oxide. They couldn't afford the second oxide molecule or something, you know? Need to take bigger sips, guys. Yeah, well, one of us has got to finish this off now. All right, are you going to hit the CPU and GPU at the same time now?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't mind finishing that. Good. All right, this thing lives. So basically, what we'll do... Well, what do we need to do? We've just got to stick the accent strip back in there.
And just get everything plugged in and cased.
Oh, yeah, we're still missing... Yeah, we're still missing a lot of plugs in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, are we going to do that, or are we going to put it to one side? Because like, it's not getting collected until Tuesday anyway.
Either or. Yeah. I don't mind.
I might kick it to one side and we'll just move on to speccing PCs.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to chuck standoffs in that as well whilst we're doing that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was all.
Yeah.
That's all it's going to be, is just doing something whilst we're talking.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
That's fine. Okay. I put it over here.
You've got to surprise it. You've got to sneak up on it.
I think. See, that bottle opener, it's not the coolest, but it's the most engaging to use.
It's also the easiest.
We need a ranking system for our bottle opener collection. There's style and there's mechanical prowess. That one doesn't have any style, but it's got a lot of mechanical prowess. We rate bottle openers. You heard it here.
I was confused because I didn't realise you had volume control here.
Yes.
And I swiped across the trackpad and it changed the volume. I was like, no, do not. But I must have just caught it.
Oh, okay, yeah. That would have been weird.
Because it's like, no, do not add yet more functions to the trackpad, Logitech. There are already too many.
I agree. Oh no, I made the carbon oxide joke, and just K-Dog just said carbon monoxide would indeed make quite a different drink. So yeah, there's probably someone out there that's just like, oh, this is the most dangerous shot you'll ever drink, kind of thing. It's slightly poisonous. All right.
Oh, wow. I can't remember how you described this last week, but...
Very sweet. I seem to remember.
It's very nice.
Yeah. It almost feels like a guilty pleasure, that, because it's very sweet. And the problem is, like, very sweet ciders make me think of Copperberg and Recordlig, and those feel like cheap ciders because they're not. But then it's just like, well, what am I saying that for a cider to be good, it has to be dry, farmhouse dry, and actually be unpleasant to drink, kind of thing? You know what? You know, yeah. What makes a cider good? It's just like, well, do you like the flavour? You know. It's got like we've got a Thatcher's Rosé here, and like part of me is just like Thatcher's Rosé is very nice, but also I feel this is a flavoured cider, which automatically would make a lot of people be like, "That's not real cider." So yeah.
What should the liquid temp be?
30. That's about fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, between 30 and 40 when heat soak is in.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. That's about right. 30 is actually doing pretty well. Once this is enclosed with the side panel on and heat soakers set in, I would expect that to creep up into the mid to high 30s.
Oh yeah, it has got a glass side panel.
Yeah. Whereas where it's open at the moment and everything's venting out, we're getting good temperatures on it. Yeah, with the side panel on, I'd expect that liquid temperature to creep up to the mid 30s at least. If your liquid temperature is starting to hit 40, that's a problem. That means you're just not getting airflow through the radiator. But yeah, 30 is pretty good. Copperberg is fruit juice with added alcohol. Yeah, that's what I mean. So yeah. Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. There you go then, Nina. So yeah, it's all fixed. So I'll polish this off stream, I think, because the reason why I say that is I know in advance that getting all of these cables fettled into the right place is going to take an hour. And I don't want the rest of the stream to be me swearing at cables in the case. So yeah. However, it works. So long and the short of it is, it looks like everything had just been rattled about, and it just someone said reseating memory. I think that might have been it, because that we didn't actually reseat the memory before we took the motherboard out. We did it at the same time. So reseating memory, that's my guess, because I see no reason why taking the motherboard out is what fixed it. But yeah, at any rate, that's all sorted. So that'll be ready to go on Tuesday. I'll give you a call Tuesday morning just to confirm. But yeah, you'll buy us 88 bottles of cider. Yeah. Well, I'm always partial to Stowford Press. Just saying. Not required though. Good. Oh yeah, and also I'll make sure that Windows is actually booting and stuff like that beforehand. We did see Windows start on this earlier on, so we know that the SSD is okay. But I'll test that later on just to make sure that that's properly okay. There's no reason for it to have software issues, so I'm not expecting it, but just for the good measure. Do you want to swap the SSDs out just so that's done?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I'll do the rest of it. I'll do the rest of it off stream.
That's warm.
Good hand warmer. The most expensive hand warmer.
That's the most expensive hand warmer.
Yes, true. I was watching Wan Show earlier on today, and Luke.
Oh, the motherboard needs rotating, so the tubes have got a twist in them.
Oh yeah, again, this is why I didn't want to finish this on stream, because I knew stuff like that would come up. Luke from LTT hadn't seen a 4090 yet, and so they were comparing sizes of the 4090 versus some other graphics cards, and they're just handing them to Luke, and Luke was sort of going, "Oh my god," kind of thing. And they were comparing the 3090 with the Asus Strix 4090, and again, it was just like the 3090 looks small next to it, and they were just like, you know, look, this is a 3090 Founders. This is a big boy, this graphics card, and it looks small compared to the 4090. Just put that in your head, you know.
Well, as Jay showed,
I haven't watched that video yet, but I heard he was having difficulty fitting it into. Was it a LAN call he was?
I don't know, but it's the same bloody size as a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, It just,
I'm just like,
I think Jay's video, he was trying to fit them into a LAN cool, which is not a small case. Like the Lianli LAN cool, that is not a small case. It's not a big case, but it's on the larger end of a mid tower. You know, it's just on the line of mid tower and big boy case kind of thing, and it's just like, but. You're a bit surprised to hear that my repair business doesn't pay and we're not charging enough. Bit of everything. So when I said that, you know, the shop is funded by YouTube and stuff like that, don't get me wrong. I do make money. I can earn a living fixing PCs. However, a big shop like this is expensive. And also, yeah, I don't charge enough.
Also, if you were just repairing computers, you would have stayed in the other shop.
Probably. Yeah, or at least I wouldn't have gotten a shop this big.
Yeah.
I still needed a bigger shop, but I wouldn't have needed a shop this large because I wouldn't have needed a dedicated.
You needed a shop where the space was more usable.
Yeah, that was the other.
At the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's a balancing thing. Like, for example, if I had a shop that was the size of just one of these rooms, that would have been plenty.
Yeah.
However, because of YouTube, I needed something that actually had a dedicated quote-unquote studio.
Yeah.
You know, I need a space separate from the customer space to actually, because lights and cameras take up a lot of space. So yeah, so that's the thing, is I'm in a shop that is more expensive than I need to be in, kind of thing. So I could have been in a small shop, and also like I'm in a rural area. I do need to charge more for a lot of my repairs, but a lot of people need to remember that. It's like, for example, you know, with this repair that we've just done, you know, how much do you charge for that? Because all we did was take bits out and put them back in again.
Yeah, but it's taken how long to know how to do that?
Yeah,
You're not...
10 years to learn how to do it in 10 minutes, yada, 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 but still. But
the GPU.
Oh, yeah. But it's like, for example, you know, when a lot of day-to-day repairs is a customer will bring in a 5-year-old Acer laptop, with a dead a 5-year-old Acer laptop that just needs a tune-up. The laptop's maybe worth 80 quid. You know, how much can you charge? How much can you reasonably charge to repair that before you've written off the laptop? You know, it's a really tough call to decide how much to charge, and that's one of the reasons why I undercharge, because I tend to go in low. But yeah. 1 hour, £50. Well, that's actually 50 quid is my flat fee for most repairs. 50 quid for a repair is how much I generally charge. So, you know, service is service. Yeah. But yeah. Also, though, like for the more complicated stuff, like when I'm doing a motherboard repair and some of the more high-end repairs that you see on the channel, I don't charge enough for those. That much is accurate. And I'm going to charge more, but I have a backlog that I need to dig through first. So, also allow mail-in repairs. I do, but I don't advertise it, and I don't want mail-in repairs at the moment. I just keep accepting them, and I shouldn't, because I'm not set up for it. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Consumer level PC repair is barely profitable. I entirely agree. And that's why you won't get rich doing this job. But also that's why YouTube is part of my strategy now, because the shop feeds content into the channel gets sponsorships, the sponsorships pay big money. That's actually the long-term strategy at the moment. And that's not to say that the content will suffer, but that's the thing, is because I have a real computer shop feeding the channel with real content, I don't need to come up with stuff because it's being fed in by the shop repairs. So yeah, that's how it goes. But yeah. Mailing repairs only from Spud and Knight. Yeah, maybe. But yeah. Also, yeah, this that build, it is a good build. Like there's cable spaghetti at the back, but trust me, that case is hard mode for system building. Just successfully getting it all in the case is hard mode. So yeah, No knocking with that case. That is not an easy case to build in, and I'm not saying that to be nice. I built in that case. It's a nightmare.
It's horrid.
Yeah, but you do get a really nice, cute little computer out of it. It's a really nice build when you got it. Right, what's this? What are you doing?
Taking the motherboard out.
I can see that. With 3 screws. Yeah, good. Well, that's 2 more than what holds the motherboard in your main PC, I assume.
I don't know. I have actually no idea.
Yeah. You would just wanted to dust this thing? Oh yeah. So you wanted to dust this thing out, and also there's a lot of standoffs that. Yeah, this case is missing several standoffs, including one of the really important ones in the top left.
Yep.
So yeah, what is this system?
It's a friend's computer.
Okay.
That I happened to spot and was just like, oh.
Okay, so did you basically say, I'm going to service your computer and just run off with it?
Yeah, basically.
Fair enough.
But it was mostly the fact that when I saw in this back panel and just the motherboard was just kind of moving.
Mm. Any tips for starting up a repair shop other than giving up? Firstly, make sure there's a market for it. So, you need to go to an area where there's not already established computer repair shops. I'm not going to lie, I have a kill count because local computer shops do start up around here and they don't last because they're going up against a shop that's been in business in this area for more than 10 years. And that's a tough act to go up against. So try and make sure that you're not going up against an established business unless that established business has real problems. You need to be offering a better product, so better service, lower price. And also, go into business with rock bottom running costs. Find yourself the cheapest shop you can find. My old shop, which was the lean-to shed that the lean-to that I was in for most of the channel's lifetime. So the old shop, the rent on that was £330 a month, which is really, really cheap. So that meant that, I think I had to average 1 fix a day to break even in that shop. As long as I fixed one thing every day on average, I would be able to pay the bills. And that got me through rough times, just having rock bottom running costs. So that's the thing, is just try and build up with absolute rock bottom running costs. Yeah, make yourself available. You've got to do, when you start out, you've got to advertise, you've got to be on Facebook, you've got to be on Twitter, you've got to be on the places so people can find you. That's about all I can say, really. Graham with an actual body count. Yeah, well, like I said, I don't say that to brag. It's just, yeah, I just, every now and then, there's another computer shop pops up in the next town over, and I'm just like, good luck. So, yeah, nothing against them, but, yeah, it's, that much being said, every time, the problem is, though, is just most of the time there's been something wrong with other computer shops.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just overthinking it or doing it wrong somehow. I think overthinking it is the key point. I see a lot of computer shops that start up that are just trying to do too much. That seems to be the major issue, is they're going to do repair, they're going to do web design, they're going to do phones, they're going to do everything. And I'm like, find something you're good at and focus on it.
I think that's also the important statement, is find something you're actually good at.
Yeah.
It's the number of places that you see opening up and you're just like, yeah, but are you actually good at fixing computers?
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like an incredibly elitist comment to make, but if you're offering repair services, make sure you know how to repair computers.
Yeah.
Make sure you've spent enough money up front to actually back up people's data when you're working on their computers.
Yeah.
Because going, oh no, I can't back up this terabyte hard drive because I don't have enough storage. That's ridiculous. 4 terabytes of hard drive storage is less than £100.
Yeah, that's another good point. You need to be prepared to invest in equipment. And I say that as someone who really tried not, I penny pinched super hard in the first half of my business. And in the second half of my business, I actually started buying equipment, and my quality of service went up drastically because I was prepared, basically. When someone came in, I'm like, no, we don't need the charger. I've got one. Because I'd blown £200 buying a set of chargers, you know, and not just one universal charger, so I can only fix one laptop at a time. Just a set of chargers, so I can just take the laptop, not have to take anything else, and it's just, yeah. But that much being said as well is sometimes you have to go into business and figure out what you need. Like if someone said, I'm starting a computer shop, what equipment should I buy? That's a difficult question to answer.
But you need to have yourself 2 computers.
Yes.
If you don't have the capacity to have 2 desktop computers, you can't start up. Because you need one that you are doing paperwork on, internet work, stuff like that, and one that's doing hard drive backing up, check disks, one that's doing tasks that take a long time and have to sit. Because if you have to tie up your invoicing machine for 7 out of 8 hours a day, how are you going to earn money? Because you can't charge anyone anything.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they don't need to be flash computers. They don't need to be fancy. They can be that 50 quid Dell PC off of eBay.
Basic laptop, yeah. This is what this laptop does. This laptop sits on the front desk day to day, and it's just the front of house laptop where I just do the paperwork. So whatever is going on the computers back here, I can help the customer. So yeah. Also, yes, message received, Chris. That's not what I meant, you horrible people. What? So yeah, body counts.
Oh. Of course that's what Chris is inferring.
Xavier has the opposite problem, has no work. Yeah, that is difficult. Is that traps, that guy there?
No, it's fed under the motherboard.
Okay, yeah. That's
because the only fan header on the board is there.
Oh, gross. Yeah, okay.
There's CPU fan, and then there's one there. Oh, no, there is one there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at a push, don't be afraid to do the good old-fashioned leaflet drop. That's actually something... I've done leaflet drops twice in my career. One time when I was just working from home, another time in the very early days of my business. It was before I had a shop, and what I did was I made an A5 leaflet. So you draw yourself up an A5 leaflet that just says, you know, Joe Blog repairs. I fix laptop and desktop computers. We come to your house. Is your computer running slow? We'll make it fast again. It costs. We charge this amount to come out and have a look at your computer. No fix, no fee. And then you duplicate it, so you've got 2 on an A4 page. You print out one of those, you go down to a print shop, and you photocopy it 200 times. Then you guillotine it. Now you have 400 leaflets that cost you about £3 to make. Walk around the local housing estates and leaflet drop. Put on some headphones and just go house to house, pushing them through letterboxes. And if you get one person call you, then you've made money. If you've got nothing else to do, that's something you can do.
Also a case that...
And like I said, be on Facebook, be on the social media so people can find you as well.
Yeah, and a statement which is slightly more advanced on that is also a case of, if you want to get into it, tailoring your advert to the people you're advertising to. If you're advertising to the high-end, salubrious, giant houses, don't say, we'll fix your 10-year-old laptop. They won't have a 10-year-old laptop.
Yeah.
They'll have a 2-year-old at most MacBook.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a case of be aware of what people are likely to have, just so you don't make yourself seem detached from each client's needs. And in the same way, it's a case of, obviously, if you're going to a particularly poor area and saying, oh, yes, we're charging, you know, £180 an hour or something, the person's just going to turn around and go, well, I'm never phoning you.
Oh. You're not allowed to leaflet drop in the Netherlands. They have an opt-in system for mail leaflets. There we go. Yeah, I did not know that. Yeah, fair enough. Yep. I mean, I definitely think, like, yeah, social networks, so Facebook, etc., that is definitely a good start. And Google Maps as well. get yourself on Google Maps. Yes,
What?
it might point to your bedroom, which might not be very glamorous. However, it's basically, for example, if you search for computer repair shaft spree, I should be on that list. So if someone searches for laptop repair your hometown, you should be appearing on that search result. If you're not, find out why you're not there and get there, basically. You don't have to be the top hit. You just have to be there and have your information filled out with a company image or something like that, you know. You got your Steam Deck and it's awesome. Good. You got the most experience in smartphone repair, but not good enough to charge people. Well, confidence in work can be important. It's very easy to be like, ha. Lewis Rossman, in his early videos, he did a couple of videos that were the gist of, have you put in a standoff that's too tall?
That's what I think I've just fixed. Because I just took one out and replaced it with a shorter one.
That's way too tall.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what you were thinking.
No, I put it in the lower position.
I see.
Because there's two heights of standoff.
Okay.
But it was too tall even for the lower position.
Fair enough. Yeah, Lewis Rossman did a video in the earlier days of his channel. I forget what it was titled, but the gist of it was about putting yourself in the mindset of what you're trying to be. So if you're fixing phones, then you say to yourself, I am a phone repair technician. You know, don't say I'm trying to be a phone repairer. I am a phone repairer. I repair phones. That is who I am. I am the man who fixes the phones. The phone fixer, you know. So have confidence in your work. If I said to you, I've got a Samsung Galaxy S7 with a broken screen, can you fix my phone? Can you fix my phone? If the answer is yes, if you say yes, I can find you a new screen and I can fit it for you, and I am confident enough that I can succeed, that I will buy the parts with my own money and then charge you afterwards, then you can fix phones and you should advertise that as a service. So yeah, you can't add repair with Google. You can't? How so? You can be a business on Google from anywhere. Oh, I see. Not necessarily. When I say be on Google Maps, not necessarily adverts like paid adverts kind of thing, but just register yourself as a business on Google Maps, because that means when someone searches for computer repair on Google Maps, you will appear. Big Hostel bringing in their machines will be handing over their private data. What about making a fuss? Yeah, people do get funny about private data, and when people are when people get funny with me about going, like, because I will say to someone, I ask people for their password so I can log onto their computer and ensure that Windows is serviced and up to date. And when people get funny about that, if they're like sort of, well, I've got sensitive data on there, I'm like, okay, that's fair. And the gist of what I say to people is like, you know, look, ultimately, you need to trust me with your computer. If you're leaving your computer here, you need to trust me with your computer and the data that's on it. Unless you've got BitLooker turned on, I can dump your data to one of my computers anyway. So you need to trust me. If you can't trust me, then we can't have a business relationship, ultimately. However, I can assure you, I have no interest in your data, and I will not disturb your data or copy it or do anything without your consent. However, if you do not wish me to access your computer, that's fine. However, this will be a hardware-only repair. I cannot service Windows if you do not give me access to it. That's the gist of what I say to people. And at that point, some people will turn around and be like, okay, here is my password. And some people will be like, that's fine, I don't need you to touch Windows. And I'll be like, no problem then. I'll fix your computer. However, if there is a problem with Windows, that's not covered by my warranty because I didn't fix Windows. And you just have to have a frank and honest discussion with the customer about that. So, why am I not doing mail-in repair? Because I've got too much work at the moment. I need to demolish my backlog. I have a major problem with a backlog of repairs at the moment that I'm slowly chipping away at. And, yeah. Oh, no. Every time Caradog walks off camera, the brightness goes up to compensate for his bright shirt. I'm going to take the camera off of Caradog because the light off of Caradog.
I'm going to turn the camera off so
Yeah.
you can't see Caradog.
Yeah, you don't need this light. I'm going to point this light at my face, and I shall be the blinded boy instead.
I shall become illuminated.
Illuminate. We had that camera so we could see into the PC. There we go. Now I'm not in shadow anymore, and the picture actually looks good. Making a video of your repair can save you money also. It can do. Let's see. Can you just check Windows when the customer is in the shop to pick up the PC? Not really. I mean, you can boot it up and just make sure they can log in, but you can't do any repairs. You don't have time to do Windows Update. If it comes up with an error, never fix it while the customer is looking over your shoulder. Not because you've got any problems with what you're doing, but because, trust me, if the customer is waiting, everything will go wrong. Ask me how I know. If the customer is standing there waiting to pick up your computer, the moment you try and do anything, it's going to be like, I'm going to install a Windows build update, and I'm going to take half an hour to do it if you're lucky. Don't do stuff while the customer waits. Same-day service is okay. You know, you can say to a customer, you know, look, I'll get this done today, pop back in later on today. However, you say to them, I'll get this done, and I'll call you later on today when it's done. And then you call them later on when it is done. You don't say this will be done in an hour, because now the clock is ticking. And trust me, the computer will absolutely screw you if you give yourself a time limit like that. Yeah, Murphy's Law will get you every time on that. I need an apprentice or a newbie. Maybe. We'll see.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah. I need someone to fill out the paperwork to get me an apprentice. I need an apprentice to fill out his own paperwork for me. Or her. There. You've had customers watch you work and they're always distressed at the time it takes to do some things. Yeah, exactly that. It's a bad time, man. It's the other reason why I hated doing call-outs. Like, if you're the kind of person that does home call-outs, and again, if you're a local repair business and you're struggling to find work, advertise home call-outs. I turn away a lot of call-outs from old folks or people who just can't be bothered to bring in their PC. So either people who can't be bothered or old folks who are like, I can't bring in the PC, I can't lift it, you know. I have to turn away a lot of work like that because I don't do call-outs. But also, yeah, fixing the computer on site in someone's house, that's a very, very high stress environment. If you're not absolutely certain as to being able to resolve that in 10 minutes, you say to the customer, sure, I'll take your computer with me, I'll bring it back tomorrow, and it will be all fixed and ready to go. And you give them a ticket that says, here we go, I've taken your computer, here is a ticket from me saying I have your computer, I'll be back tomorrow and it'll all be working. You take it back to your workshop, you fix it, you bring it back. So yeah, they pull up a check. Yeah, absolutely that. Did I ever go to schools or organizations to fix computers? I've been to college and I've done a college course on IT. To be precise, I have an AVCE in ICT. That's an advanced
video codec.
It's an advanced vocational certificate in education in information communications technology. It's worth 2.5 A-levels.
It's more A-levels than I've got.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, fair enough. So yeah, it's worth bugger all, basically.
Who needs A-levels when you've got nepotism?
Oh, it's funny because it's true. Oh, it's funny because it's true.
I mean, it isn't, but...
Well, we're laughing.
No, I meant personally.
Well, yeah, true, yeah. Anyway, yeah, no, I don't have any formal... again, also, as Lewis Rossman also said, how to get into computer repair. Find something that's broken and fix it. And that sounds incredibly unhelpful, but that's how you do it. Find some old e-waste and try and fix it. Even if you're not going to make money doing it, just practice fixing stuff. And when you get good at fixing stuff, how is it that you've been fitting standoffs and there's no standoff down there?
Because you didn't actually have enough.
Oh, okay.
You've actually run out. So I now have this bit of the board all done.
Okay, fair enough. The important bit is supported.
Yes.
Yeah. The USB ports no longer deflect by 2 inches when you try and plug something in.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. There's no I/O shield, but she'll be right.
Yeah, it'll be all fine.
Hang on a sec, just so you guys can see what's going on here. Bench cam with face.
Yeah, I'm just not sure where to put this.
Quick tour of this boy here.
Can I do something like that? Oh, maybe. Oh,
There we go. There's a happy little I/O at the back of this PC there. And there's this high quality system here. There we go, I'll come off of that now. Advanced video COVID. Oh no.
There you go.
But yeah, as I say, experience is worth a great deal more than training in the tech support industry. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't get training, because also, like, as we've also said, there's no money in this job. If you want to make money, go and get like Microsoft certifications and go and learn how to fix enterprise equipment and servers and how to do Windows Server management and stuff like that. That's where you make money.
Oh, do you know what would be a good idea?
So yeah. However, if you like to fix things, then you know this is a job you can earn a living. Just you won't get rich in this job though.
What are these going to be? These going to be M3s?
It depends. They're probably Imperials, but you'll have to check. There's one of each, so you can test. Is Cisco and CCNA still worth anything?
Also, what the hell happened to the case? Why is there that much difference?
Force the screws in, and it will bend into the shape that it's supposed to be.
Absolutely, but I'm just like, what?
Certs cost money. They do. But yeah. And is that as in, yes, it's still worth something? And yeah, certification does cost money. However, I have concerns. I have concerns about this. Something is very wrong with this.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have big concerns. What's forcing the motherboard up like that? Is the standoff really tall?
I'm presuming the standoff's too tall.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with this.
Yeah. I think this thing takes really short standoffs.
Yeah.
Or it's not possible that there's supposed to be no standoffs on those bumps, surely.
I don't know, I can try it.
Yeah. Maybe this case is that cheap that it's designed to have no standoffs in it. I'm beginning to think that's the case, because like I was looking at that going, even if we had the I/O shield, how the hell is that supposed to fit in? Some cases have no standoffs. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. Certificates need updating. You keep spending money on it. Well, the idea is that you get enough certs to get into a job, and then you have the company pay for the rest of it. You don't want some YouTube guru course certification or something. Yeah. Well, again, just remember, employers. The problem is, certifications get you the interview. And then being good gets you the job. So, you know, make of that what you will. Experience trumps a degree. Yeah, however, you've got to get to the interview first. And if a guy has got 100, if a guy's got 100 resumes off his desk, the first thing he's going to do is bin every one of them that doesn't have a relevant education. Just straight away. That's the first thing they're going to do, just to filter out a load of them. They're not going to interview 100 people. The first thing they're going to do is go, right, all of these people who don't have relevant education for this job, straight in the bin. That's just how it's going to work. Now, is that fair? Probably not. Is that how it's actually going to work? Most likely.
Also, the thing of don't forget that certainly if you're interviewing for a large company, the person doing the initial review of the CV will be someone who doesn't work in that field. So it will be someone who works in HR. So it's a case of obviously they probably won't even have been given a job description by the people who are actually doing the job.
Do you want me to hold that for a sec? Or...
I was just going to stick it behind me. They will have been given targets from management or something.
I'd say no standoffs for that.
Yeah. They will have been given something from some person in management, and that will be it.
Yeah. Caradog works in an office. That's all we know about him. That's all we know. You were gone for a bit. What PC is this now? This is a PC that belongs to one of Caradog's friends. He abducted it to do servicing on it, and now he's currently butchering it with the wrong size standoffs.
Well, apparently the correct size standoff is non-existent.
Yes.
So
the correct answer was no standoffs. Thanks, Bitfenix. So... Thanks for the tips you're offering out. Yeah, no problem for what it's worth. Good luck for what it's worth. It's hard, man. And also remember, what works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for other people. Don't take anyone's word as gospel. Gather ideas and formulate your own plan from them. Caradog sells snake oil to the elderly, says Chris. I'm not hearing a denial.
It's hard to oil snakes. They keep thing away.
Jay says, do they know that the computer was abducted?
No. They're on holiday.
Understandable. It's a Bitfenix Nova and it's a no standoff case. There we go, that answers that one. Please do not lubricate your snake. Have I ever started to repair something and it's taken all day to repair it? Many times, yeah. Sometimes it be that way. And that's just, this is why I don't give time estimates to people as well. It takes as long as it takes, you know. There's certainly some things where I'm just like, I'm expecting this to take an hour or 2 hours to do. But there are some machines where it takes a long time because there are some computers which will just fight you every step of the way. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong, and just like, you know, I've got a. Is it gone now? Yeah, thank God for that. It is actually gone. There was a laptop that came in with a failed hard drive, and I was like, cool, SSD upgrade, in and out, you know. So hard drive had failed. Had to get hold of the customer. Then the customer. I said sort of, oh, we're going to replace it with an SSD. The customer wanted a bigger SSD. They wanted a 2 terabyte one. I'm like, okay, if you're sure, you don't need one that big, but if that's what you want. So I had to order in an SSD because I don't keep 2 terabyte ones in stock. It gets delayed again. The SSD comes in. I go to do the imaging. Their hard drive has a particularly problematic master file table, MFT, on it, which does not want to shrink. So my usual imaging method of using snapshot will not work because the MFT was some ways broken to Sunday. I don't know what happened to it. So there was a 1-day delay while I messed around sorting out an imaging system to get that to work. Finally managed to successfully image the old hard drive onto the new SSD. And then I put it back in the laptop, and then it turns out it's a Windows 7 install.
Oh.
And it's blue screening on startup. And because it's Windows 7, there's nothing you can do to fix it because 7 is bad. Fight me. 7 is bad. Stop using it. So then I was like, okay, I put in half a day to see if I could recover the Windows 7 install. Nope, cannot recover it. It's gonna be faster to reinstall Windows. Call up the customer. I'm sorry, madam, we're gonna need to reinstall Windows because the Windows 7 install is broken because of the broken hard drive. That means you're gonna need to reinstall your apps, blah, blah, blah. Go through that rigmarole. She's like, unfortunate, but okay, fine. Erase the SSD. Install Windows. Install Windows 10. Windows 10 installs. There's problems with the graphics card because it's got an old NVIDIA GeForce 7000 series graphics on it, because it's an old Windows 7 laptop with dedicated graphics card. So the Windows 10 install.
I thought you were about to say dedicated integrated graphics.
Yeah. So the new Windows 10 install keeps locking up on a black screen as soon as it installs the graphics driver. But because I'm working on multiple computers at the same time, it takes several Windows install attempts before I realize that that's what's happening. So now I have to get it into safe mode and go through and figure out which driver is pissing it off. I realize it's the graphics driver. Okay, disable the dedicated graphics card. Thankfully, I can do that in BIOS. Install Windows 10 again. Good, now we have Windows on the laptop. Copy the customer's data across. Now we're cruising. Can you imagine how long this job took for something that should have taken a couple of hours? It took days to get through this job. Absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. So yeah. And that's the thing, it's just there will be one of those jobs in the shop at any given time that just fights you every step of the way for no good reason at all. Oh, woe is me. Anyway. So yeah, that was my my story. I know, been there, preach it. Yeah. So that's it. And that was just one job this week. So that's the thing, is just, yeah, that's the problem with this. And just, there's always one of those in. And because there's always one of those in, like, dealing with that job blows chunks out of your schedule. So now your repair queue is delayed. And now you're falling behind schedule. And there's computers that have been sitting there for a week and you haven't even looked at them yet, you know. It's a hard job, man. It's a hard job and it doesn't pay well. That's why they invented alcohol. Yeah. What was the first ever operating system that I used? Properly, 95. I've encountered Windows 3.1 and I've used it, but I was a kid, so I didn't really know what I was doing. I also used DOS when I was, you know, a kid, but I didn't know how to do it. My friend and I, we knew the exact commands required to launch the video games we wanted to play, which was like Commander Keen and Crystal Caves and stuff like that. So I've used DOS and I've used Windows 3.1, but I wouldn't say I knew how to use them. The first operating system where I actually learned and understood how to use a computer was probably 95. I guess to a certain extent, I had a decent knowledge of how to use RISC-OS as well, because I grew up in British state schools when they were still using Acorn Archimedes and BBC Micros.
Oh, God.
So, yeah. You started with OS2 Warp.
Oh, boy.
Where? What is OS2 Warp used for? Like, I know that OS2 Warp is a thing. I don't know what it is. What is OS2? Where was it used? What was it used for? Like, serious question. I don't know anything about OS2. It's always been one of... You remember how in the BIOS there was always that setting for OS2? And you were like, no? No idea what it is. It was just some weird other operating system. No one knows what OS2 is. No one knows what OS2 is, apart from Greg M, apparently. It was IBM's alternative to Windows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. What system would that have been on? Would that have been on like an IBM PC, I guess? More secure than Windows. Often used in banks. Oh, interesting. What are you thinking about?
Just trying to work out what timescale it would have been.
Yeah.
Because I remember...
My mum's probably used OS2 because she used to work in the banks.
I remember spending a lot of time at my prep school converting installs from FAT16 to FAT32 so they could then upgrade to 98.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of legacy Windows 95 systems that were still on FAT16 probably because they've been upgraded from DOS or 3.1.
I remember spending a reasonable amount of time at prep school fixing that. So I was the only person in the bloody school who understood it.
I never encountered having to do FAT32 16 to 32 conversions. There was a lot of FAT32 to NTFS conversions around the 98 era. Sorry, the late 9X era, so Windows 2000 and Windows ME, because I think ME wanted to use NTFS. However,
I thought NTFS was introduced with XP and NT5.
2000 used NTFS.
Did it?
Yeah, 2000 Pro. Because
2000 Pro was NT5.
Oh yeah, 2000 Pro is NT5. Yeah. Does Millennium Edition install in NTFS? Does anyone know?
I would have thought not, because Millennium Edition was the home version, wasn't it? Which was 98.
It was 9X. Yeah.
It was 98.
Yeah, it was 98 with the skin.
Yeah. I've never used ME.
I didn't use it on my PC. I went straight to 2K because I managed to get hold of a 2K volume license. So I went from 98 to 2K. But some of my friends had ME on their computers.
Yeah. I went from...
And when I went back to it, I'm just like, 9X. Why? Because once you go NT, you don't go back.
I went from 98 SE straight to XP.
Oh, that's a big jump. Yeah. ME did not use NTFS. Most people say, yeah, and I suppose that makes sense because Windows NT NTFS. So yeah. ME was a cash grab pile of garbage. Yeah, I think I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand why ME existed. Like, I think Microsoft hadn't really figured out that they were going to do a home version of NT at that point. I think they must have done it for compatibility.
What did XP replace?
XP
replaced a project that didn't get launched, didn't it? Because XP...
I don't think so. XP was kind of a big deal, though, because it was the first NT-based home user operating system. Because I think the reason why ME exists is because there were compatibility issues of 9X apps that would not run on NT. And when I was running Windows 2000 Pro, a lot of games did require a patch to work on 2K Pro. So I think ME existed for compatibility reasons, not necessarily a cash grab. But it does beg the question that Microsoft should have just put their foot down and said, no, fix your shit on NT. This is the direction we're going in. 9X is dead, So yeah.
What was the latest version of NT? Obviously before it became XP.
4.1? No, sorry. There was NT 4.1, then there was Windows 2000 Pro, which was NT 5.
Yeah, okay.
And then XP, which is 6? Is XP with NT 6?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters because as soon as you hit Windows 2000 Pro, the NT version number, even though it exists, even to this day, is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah. So is yeah. I should have a look at 2000 Pro, just to have a look at it, just because I've never actually particularly looked at it.
It's all right. It's like you can run 2000 Pro and you'll be like, oh, this is actually very similar to a modern operating system. But what it's missing is features. There's no wireless networking at all.
At all?
No.
Oh, interesting.
If you want a wireless card in Windows 2000, you need drivers that have their own wireless utility to scan and connect to wireless networks.
Oh, that's why those existed.
That's right.
Oh, I see. Because I remember
Windows
the Xilinx app thing.
That's right.
Getting installed on XP and completely roggering Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And me being like, why would you ever write a program that its sole function seems to be to break Wi-Fi?
Windows didn't have native Wi-Fi support until XP Service Pack 2. Service Pack 2 was a big deal for XP. Big deal. If you weren't on Service Pack 2, you didn't have. Someone confirmed that.
I
Yeah,
can't remember if
yeah.
I've
Arnold
got.
G just confirmed that SP2 brought
I
in
can't
native
remember
wireless
if
support.
I've got original XP install disk or an XP Service Pack 1 full install disk.
Yeah. Windows 2000 basically 0 graphics capabilities.
I remember ordering the Service Pack 3 and Service Pack 2 CDs from Microsoft for XP.
Yeah.
I didn't need to order them, but I thought it would be useful to just have them around.
XP Service Pack 2, also known as the "We finally made it work." Yeah. Downloading Service Pack 2 on a 56K modem. Yeah.
That's what I did.
I remember at one point I wanted to play. I wanted to try and play a little game called Counter-Strike on Windows XP, but I had to download a 50 megabyte update. Absolutely impossible. That's far too big. I can't download that. There was another version of it as well. There was Counter-Strike and Team Fortress. They had this game. They had this map called Two Fort.
What, in Counter-Strike?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Very good. All right, I'm going to turn this light down because it's washing my face out. That's up, not down. There we go. Good. Right, are you all done over there?
Yeah.
Cool. Right, let's see, what's the timer on? We're on 2 hours, so shall we spec some PCs or something?
Sure.
Let's bash through that, shall we? Right. I'll just sort out this. I'll just sort out your leavings over here.
They're the everything but the standoffs of the screws for that PC.
Ah, very well. Okay, in that case,
That's why I left them.
Ah, okay.
They're the screws for the PC. The PC's screws.
The screws specific. The PC screws. The screws. Damn it.
Hi, how are you?
Do you want to pass me a head me so I can give you a monitor? As that makes life easier, doesn't it? Okay. Right, and Windows P. We can't change the display using a remote.
Yeah, because you're trying to change the remote desktops.
Duplicate. There we go. Full screen. There we go. All right. Cool. Right, so we're done fiddling around with PCs. So, right, what we're going to do then? We're going to do a quick bit of PC specking. So I've got a couple of points of interest. First of all, I have a dilemma. I sold one of the PCs in the shop was the NZXT build that has a bunch of refurbished parts in it. I've sold half of that PC. And so I'm left with the other half. So now I need to rebuild it. And I need to decide how much I'm going to rebuild it by.
As little as possible.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's got a nice motherboard and CPU in it. And I'm like, should I buy something nice for it? Like, yeah. Like, do I build it up as cheap as I possibly can? Or actually... Yes. Okay, fine. You're no fun at all.
No.
Okay. So we need to rebuild that PC then. So we've got a B450 motherboard with a 3700X in it, and we need a case for it. We need a case, and I need to decide what graphics card I'm going to sell it with.
A cheap one, I would presume.
Yeah, I suppose I'll stick one of the 1060s in it. Where are the 1060s? They're in there and there. Yeah, yeah. I'll stick one of the 1060s in it. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, the 1070 is sold. So yeah. So yes, ATX is the form factor. Oh yeah, I was thinking of buying a fractal pop for it, but
quite a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. I should wait until I'm building an actually new PC, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
3700X is the CPU. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing. Put an ARC 770 in there. No. Okay. Let's see. So, Amazon.co.uk. Rings of Power.
What? Oh.
Okay. NVIDIA 2000 series with that CPU. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Do I want to? I don't want to buy in more second-hand graphics cards. I mean, I guess I could always because when I put it out on price, I need to have options available. I could always say optionally available with the 2070 Super in it.
Okay.
That's a bit of a weird pairing, though, isn't it?
How does that help you?
Don't know.
It would make more.
The 1060. Well, no, actually,
it'd make more sense to say upgrade to a 1080 for £25 or £50.
Yeah, I don't have a 1080 though. That one's technically not mine yet.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, that's still owned by someone else. Although I do actually need to say to them, look, this graphics card isn't broken. Do you want me to sell it?
Yeah.
And then try and sell it.
Yeah.
I need a case first. I've got a Corsair 275R Airflow, but I don't really want to have two of those out on show at the same time. Unless
what is the other one? Is the other one
the other one's a 5800X with a 6600 XT. So unless we recase that into a fractal pop and give that a shiny new case, and then flog off the Corsairs.
Yeah.
How much is a fractal pop these days?
Like 85 quid, 90 quid.
Okay. Desktop.
Assuming you want the pop air.
Fractal pop. Is there what's the non-air version of it then?
I can't remember specifically, but yeah.
Is there a solid front panel version of it? Oh, I think there is actually. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Where did you see £80? Was that on like Scan or something?
I can't remember. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Or Box or wherever.
Yeah. £100. Yeah. I really want to build in one of these cases.
It might have been CCL. 93 quid on CCL.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so £100 isn't unreasonable for Prime then, is it?
81 tech next day.
81 tech next day, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, if that comes back into stock.
Oh, they're out of stock though, yeah. So £100 to have it on by Tuesday from Amazon is actually not unreasonable. Yeah. See, that's the thing. I really want to take a look at one of these cases. I really like the look of this case, and I really want to build in one. I just don't have an excuse to buy one. But if I bought one of these, recased the 5800X 6600 XT build into it, and then just flogs off the Corsair 275s
you
at 50
need
quid
something
each
better than the 6600 XT, though, really.
Well, that's the other thing. Or I put the 6600 XT with this 3700X build.
That kind of makes more sense to me.
Yeah. That's the thing. If I've got the 6600 XT, put that with the lower end hardware, and then buy a keep an eye out for a 3060 Ti Founders or something like that for the 5800X build.
Yeah, or like a 6700, 6750.
The problem,
something around that point.
Yeah, and so that then leads into the question of, okay, but now I'm buying more graphics cards at a time when I want to be selling stuff. But on the flip side, it's like, well, we want to sell stuff to make room for new stuff, but we already know that I'm not going to be selling an AM5 system in here anytime soon. So really, what I need to do is spec these things up to something that actually makes sense as a balanced build.
Yeah.
So I can slap a price on it.
Absolutely. The other thing as well you need to do is actually just advertise that you sell computers.
Yes. But that,
if that makes sense, because then that separately solves the problem as well. Because if someone comes in and says, "Oh, can you build me a computer?" you can go, I've got second-hand parts.
Yeah.
If they come in
Well,
going,
that's the
oh, what can you build me
frustrating
for
thing.
450 quid?
Yeah. The second-hand parts I've got, the 3700X B450 board, which is this. The
Oh,
problem.
it's an Aorus board. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I
Yep.
was the
That's
confused.
right. So yeah, this is the board that was. This has just come out of one of the PCs that was on the showroom because I've sold everything else about that. So yeah, I've got RAM for it. But yeah, that's the thing. It's just a case of this is 3700X in a fairly nice motherboard. It's a matter of like pairing this with a 1060 doesn't really make sense. But I don't have anything else to pair it with. But I could give it the 6600 XT and then buy a better graphics card for the 5800X system and just sell that as a high-end system. Because at the moment, the 5800X system is kind of stuck mid-range because it's a 5800X paired with a 6600 XT. So yeah. So in which case, if we shop for a nice case, shuffle everything down and shop for a nice graphics card.
Yeah, I think you should be looking at eBay for graphics cards.
Yeah, sure. Let's go to eBay then, shall we? As well.
So what are we thinking? Saying like a 6700?
I guess. Yeah, let's see what we can find.
Let's see how much a 6700 is.
To eBay.
6700's maybe 380 to 400.
Do you want a 1600 flat or XT?
Sorry, I was looking at 6700 XT.
Yeah.
And then I was just going to compare to the 6750. Oh yeah, and then
Streamline your. Okay, right. We want something in the country, please, because I don't import stuff. I don't want to import stuff within the UK.
And then I would just go sort by ending soonest.
I've done buy it now, lowest price.
Oh, you've done buy it now. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sorry, I thought you were looking at
375. So, and let's have a look at sold, so we can see what they have been going for. So, if we go down here and we go sold items, so they have been going as low as 310, 312.
Yeah.
So this is the interesting thing about eBaying for stuff is look at sold items, so you can see what they have been going as low as. Because like right now, the cheapest one I can find is 375.
Yeah.
But
I'd be making an offer on that. And
yeah.
You wouldn't just click buy now, you'd make an offer on it.
Oh yeah, but the point is, if I hang around, we could get one as low as in the low 300s.
And certainly 325 for a Nitro.
Cheap. Yeah.
325 for a Nitro Plus is worthwhile.
Yeah.
I'd certainly pay that.
Yep, 320. So the going rate for one of these is like 320.
Yeah.
That's the real going rate for the rate.
And then low end 300, 350.
320, 330. Well, yeah, if you get lucky. Those are the cheap ones.
If you're Chris, 300, 350.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hellhound, white one.
Yeah. All right, so
I would have.
Let's read this properly first. Selling my power color AMD Radeon 6700 XT. Oh, it's a Red Devil. Very nice.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Upgraded to a bigger card. Yada, yada, yada. Item was bought from Curry's. Oh, there you go then. Item will be packaged. All right. I'm going to take a punt on that.
Yeah, I would start slightly lower. I'd start at like...
You think?
I would start at 315 and just kind of say like, I've seen several of these selling for sort of 310, 315.
Yeah.
What's your counter offer?
See, I was going in at 320 as this is a real offer kind of thing. But on the other hand, it makes sense for them to counter offer anyway. So if I go in at 310 and he counters 330, I'd probably accept that.
Yeah.
To save me the trouble of sniping one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going 310.
And then I'd stick a message on there saying,
hello.
Hi, I've seen completed ones of these selling for 310.
Yeah, seen completed Seen sold items for 6700 XTs at 310. So how's that sound? Ready to buy.
For my son, who just needs a graphics card.
Because he wants to play Fortnite. You wouldn't for Christmas. It's his Christmas present. You don't want to take away my son's Christmas present, do you? That you still own. Review offer. Send. See it. There we go. Done. Well, it wasn't automatically rejected.
Yeah.
So yeah, that says something.
Yeah, absolutely.
He hasn't got the auto reject on 350. You know.
I would go back and then go to the next one that's listed.
Let's just bring up desktop again. I hid that just because I wasn't sure if any personal data was going to appear when I made an offer.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's chat looking like at the moment? Hold on a moment. Oh God, I've done many things. Fine, we're here for a sec.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, that guy up there. Oh, I pointed the wrong way. Hello, that guy up there. All right. All right. What were we saying? Go to the next one.
I would then just go to the next one and then make the same offer.
Sure. All right. So let's come off of sold items.
Because the worst that happens is you reject one of them.
This is true. Well, if they accept my offer, I have to buy it.
Yeah, but that's why you're going in at 310.
That's true. Yeah. Well, the worst is they accept my offer and I've got 2 cheap graphics cards, I guess.
Yeah.
But I have more graphics cards I need to sell. But then at least they're good ones. It was a mistake. It was a mistake to get the second 1066 gig. I already had one at the time, and I bought 2 of them.
I was uncertain as to why you bought any 1060s. I could understand if they were 1070s, 1080s.
I thought I was going to shift them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it works. Sometimes you buy something and it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
I would also thankfully the 6600 XT over there. That's still, I can still sell that for what I paid for it. Yeah. So, you know.
I would also just double check what 6750s are doing.
Yeah. All right, hang on a sec. Can I half this with the chat?
I'd have just duplicated the tab, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's that one. I've made an offer. 6750 XT.
I thought that was celebrate spelt with a W. Celebrate.
It's for my dead kid's Jimmy's Christmas. Okay.
That sounds very Chris.
See,
I like the look of that ASRock Phantom Gaming one. But I'm also like, I'm not paying 600 quid for a 6750.
Yeah. You also like the look of your palette, though. No offense.
It's faster than yours.
Yes, but mine's prettier. Right, UK,
mine's just
please.
bigger.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but check the sold ones.
Yeah. Yeah. At any rate, though, like if that's what people expect, these are brand new. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're brand new.
No, that's still lowest price. So
yeah,
these are including second hands. So yeah. Right. What's sold say then? Okay. Yeah.
400.
So yeah.
Okay.
There's not a lot of second-hand ones coming up. What this tells me, though, is there's not a lot of second-hand ones coming up. Because most of these that are being sold are brand new and are going for brand new prices.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like...
oh, wow. That one was 2nd of August.
Yeah. So no one's selling 6750 XTs on eBay. Yeah. That's what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, so yeah,
that's SSDs. Why are we getting cheap SSDs? These are graphics cards.
Yeah.
What? Hold on.
That's no good. All right, so we don't care about that. Sort by recent on sold listings. True. Still, those were the cheapest ones. So if there was any recent, they would have been more expensive than that. So what we're seeing is that 6750s are twice the price of 6700s.
Which is understandable because they're a year newer, roughly.
Yeah, I doubt they're twice as fast though.
No. But obviously they're a year newer.
Yeah.
So fewer people would have had the chance to upgrade from them.
Yeah, I mean, even still,
and to have sunk the cost from it. It
yes.
was purely a case of because they are reasonably close in performance. I was wondering if it was like £15 second hand gets you a 6750 XT as opposed to a 6700.
Yeah.
If so,
yeah,
get the 6750. But no, it's not.
Yeah. All right, so that's that. Okay, what if I wanted to buy a 3060 Ti second hand on eBay? Buy it now, lowest price. Huh. Hello. How does the 3060 Ti compare to the 6700 XT?
It's slower.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but like by a long shot, or
I don't know.
Yeah. These are cheaper than I expected them to be.
Gamer.
Yeah, I expected these to be up at the £400 mark. That's that. We've made an offer on that. HP OEM is junk. Dell or HP. I mean, it'll be fine. It'll work. I seem to remember Gamers Nexus looking at OEM graphics cards and going, they're fine, you know. Okay, right, where were we? So
in Doom Eternal, the 3060 Ti gets 65 FPS at 4K, and the 6700 gets 72.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's lowest 1%. Hold on. Average is 100 to 107. So actual average is very close. Lowest 1% are much better. Yeah. 6700. Oh my god.
Yes, Caradog's phone has a decal on it.
Doom Eternal, Ultra Nightmare, 8x TSAA, 1440p, 3060 Ti, 200 FPS. Oh my god. I forget how well Doom Eternal runs on basically everything.
Pretty much.
That's nuts.
The 6700 XT was a 3070 competitor. Yeah, but also we know that they're not apples to apples. The product stacks are slightly offset.
Yeah, the 6700 XT is
not going to be as quick as a 3070, is it?
It is less than 10% slower.
Yeah, so it kind of lands in the middle-ish.
In one game it was less than 10% slower. In this one it was 30% slower. Again, that's at 4K.
However, on the flip side, though, the point being that if it's clearly possible to pick up 6700 XTs for about the same price as what I'm seeing here for 3060 Ti's.
And they are faster than 3060 Ti's.
So if I want to buy a current gen graphics card second hand, the 6700 XT is the smart buy for this area. So yeah, check sold prices for the 3060 Ti. Yeah, let's have a look.
Oh wow.
Parts only, parts only, parts only, parts only. Pre-owned, 200. Oof.
The 3060 is faster than the 2070.
3060 is faster than the 2070.
By a healthy amount.
Wow. So the 3060 Ti presumably will give the 2070 Super a bloody nose then.
Yeah.
God. The 30 series is bloody good, isn't it?
It was a huge step up in performance again.
Like that's almost depressing that a 3060 Ti that that little Zotac. Oh well, not that one, but we saw the Ti equivalent of that Zotac earlier on today. Will give that massive MSI card a bloody nose.
Yeah,
you know.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, highest settings, 1440p. the 2080 Ti, 121 FPS. The 3060 Ti, 109.
Yeah.
So it's sort of 10, 12 FPS difference between the 2080 Ti and the 3060 Ti. Like, yeah, I'll take that for gen-on-gen performance improvements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this person here who got, like, someone here got a heckin' bargain. They got a 3060 Ti for 200 quid. Buy it now. Very jelly. Okay, that's fine. Right. Okay, I think we'll put a pin in this for now because I need to wait and see if my offer on this 6700 XT gets accepted.
Yeah.
So I didn't think the 20 series was that bad either, but also it's a question of it's not that the 20 series is bad, it's just that the 30 series is really heckin' fast. So, but you know, yeah. And I say I'm depressed because I've got a 2070 Super in one of my gaming rigs over there, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's a nice graphics card. And I'm like, oh man, the 3060 Ti, which is, you know, I think of the 2070 Super as one of the big boy graphics cards. It's a notch down from a 2080 kind of thing.
Yeah.
However, the reality is, it's by modern standards, it's mid-range at best. When a 3060 Ti, which is supposed to be the affordable one, although of course the prices don't actually reflect that, just the prices make everything really weird because the 3060 Ti should be an affordable graphics card, but at its current prices, it's actually a very expensive graphics card.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, don't get me wrong, it's great. It's just the 60 is supposed to be the mid-range, you know.
Yeah, but like the Ti adds a reasonable amount of performance at higher resolutions compared to 1080p over a 3060.
Cool. Okay. I'm going to wait and see if an offer gets accepted on that. If it doesn't, hypothetically, if I just wanted to buy, well, how much does a 2070 cost these days? RTX 2070. Buy now, lowest price.
These are completed listings.
These are completed listings. Blower cooler for 125. 130? No. I mean, these are 2070 vanillas, mind you.
That was a 2070 Super OC.
Faulty, though.
No, scroll up. Up. There.
Super OC. Oh, yeah. God, 130. What? That's a steal, man.
Yeah.
Absolute steal. Absolute scandal. Fine. Okay, if we come off of sold items, what's available right now?
The cheapest brand new 3060 Ti is 410.
410. Yeah, that's not bad, but I don't really want to. I don't want to put £400 into a graphics card right now.
I think 410 for a 3060 is quite high.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. Well, I have a friend who picked up a Founders for whatever the MSRP for the Founders is, which is like 380, 390, something like that, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, right. So these are all going for 260, 265. No mega bargains. Yeah, I think I might just have to. I think what I'm going to do is just keep my eye out for a cheap graphics card for now. Am I going to buy a fractal pop though?
Given you don't need it right now, I would be waiting for Tech Next Day to come back into stock.
True. Because I can save myself 20 quid there, can't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 3060 Ti Founders Edition is in stock on scan right now for $370.
$370. See, that's a good price.
It's an okay price,
Yeah,
given
I
it's a
mean,
graphics card that came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. It ain't gonna. Well, like I mean, unless AMD drop a bombshell of a good deal, like AMD need to release a 7600 XT that destroys the 3060 Ti and costs less to beat that, because
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
we're not seeing a 4060 for 6 months minimum. Let's be real.
Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering if I'd push it for longer than that, but I'd say 6 months.
Yeah. So the point is, it's just like, so you know, you say the 3060 Ti for 380 quid for a Founders is okay. What's going to be better than that though? That's the thing.
Sure, but that's also kind of a case of saying we should be happy with the fact that the price hasn't moved in 2 years.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm happy with it, but I need a graphics card.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the thing.
Can I add more than one to basket? No, I can only have one in my basket.
You don't think 7600 XT will be under $400? Yeah, neither do I. Yeah, neither do I. Alu, if you don't want to be here, then go away, because I can just ban you and I won't think anything of it. Make your choice, my dude. You could just save me the trouble and go away, or I can click twice. Anyway, okay, so okay, so we're going to wait out on the case then, and the graphics card. I mean, if I'm waiting on the case, I may as well. Graphics cards, they're going down at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because there's new releases coming out. So the thing is the question: if I'm going to wait for the case, should I wait for the graphics card? Yes, but there are new
releases coming out at, what was the price of a 4080? Was it £800?
Yes, but like,
The
well,
4080.
oh, yeah, that. So
it's a case of
we're not. RDNA 3 is about to drop, but we're not expecting to see the 7600 XT yet, are we?
Well, we're only going to see like a 7900 XT.
So likewise,
maybe a 7800 XT.
Yeah, so likewise, we're probably not going to see the 7600 XT is probably not going to be out for 6 months either, is it?
No.
So in which case, because obviously, you know, someone said earlier on, sort of, I'll wait for RDNA 3. And it's like, well, there's not going to be one of those at the price range that I'm shopping at for 6 months. So that's not a thing. So in which case, you know, again, that 3060 Ti Founders or a second-hand 6700 XT, that seems to be the smart choice at the moment. Yeah. So I think that's a decision made, but what I'm going to do, I think we're going to hold out on the case and I'm going to see if I can snipe a cheap graphics card. So yeah, all right then. Did the 6950 XT ever exist much? Don't know. If I had the cash on the hip, would I buy a 4000 series graphics card? I mean, I don't personally, no, because I don't need one. But that's the thing. It's just like, well, I mean, if cash is no object, then sure, buy the best thing at any given time. It all depends on what you've got. That's the thing. It's kind of like earlier on when we said the Pixel 7 is out. Are you going to get one? No, because I've got a Pixel 6.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got a 30 series, no. If you have a 20 series, like if you've got a 2060, then maybe upgrade is on the door. But like the 3070 Super I've got over there, well, at 1080p, it's great. At 1440p, I'm sure that 2070 Super is great.
Yeah. You know? Oh yeah, 1440p it'll be absolutely.
That's fine. The thing. It's just it's a matter of like you've got to go pretty far down before you find before. This is why I don't care about the 4000 series, is because I don't think anyone needs it. Which is not to say it shouldn't exist. You know, we should always be making newer and better products. However, I don't think anyone needs it.
Yeah. So I think it's the
Yeah. However, if you've got a 10 series graphics card, then I would definitely say hold out for a couple more months for the 4070 or the 4060 and see what those look like.
Yeah, but they're going to be 6 months,
Yeah.
maybe 8.
Yeah. And the lower end 30 series cards are looking pretty good right now. For example, a 3060 Ti, which will give a 2070 Super a bloody nose. You know, if that's going for less than 400 quid, $400, that's a compelling price right now. You know, well, given that this is how much graphics cards cost today, the question of if they should cost that much is another discussion, but that's the reality. That's how much they do cost. We can argue whether they should cost that much or not until the cows come home, but that's the reality of how much they do cost.
Absolutely.
So yeah, very well then. Okay, I'm going to hold out then. I'm going to keep my eye out, and I'm going to try and pick up a 6700 XT, maybe that one, for that, and we'll shuffle all of those builds around then and build them into something that makes a bit more sense. In the meantime.
And also, consider obviously looking at like 6600 XT, see what they're going for secondhand.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's certainly a case of the stack pricing does seem to have been compressed somewhat, just obviously by the fact of there's the availability of 3090s at 700, 720 sort of thing. So it has massively compressed the stack at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. The existence of the 4000 series is pushing down the price, and that's good. Yeah.
Well, no. The 4000 series has been specifically priced above what the second-hand price of the 30 series is.
Yeah. However, certainly 30 series cards are coming down to sane prices, you know. Like, there's no doubt that things are better than they used to be, you know.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was ever a question.
Yeah, 6700 XT will do good for a 1440p high refresh. Yeah, I think so. Remember when you picked up a 3060 for 300 quid? Yeah. Well, 400 quid is bonkers money for a 3060 vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 300, that was a good price, and I think you got yourself a good deal there. But yeah, 400 is not the going rate. 400 is the we don't want to sell this price, or we're selling it to suckers, which is probably more the case for overclockers. But yeah. Okay. Right. The time is 2 hours and 37 minutes. Are we going to do an early wrap up, or should we spec some PCs?
Yeah, might as well. Depends. What are you going to spec up?
I don't know. I was just going to say, let's say, you know, I was just going to knock around the idea of I wasn't sure if I was potentially going to build something, but it was a case of if I were going to build a PC to sell, what would we build these days? New parts only. If someone is building tomorrow, what do we recommend?
Depends what they're using it for, but I'd still be arguing for a 5800 X3D PC.
Yeah. AM5 specking time. I kind of want to have a look and just see how much AM5 actually costs. Let's quickly do that. Like the original plan for this, before we had the other computers to look at, because that was very last minute that came in. The original plan was that we were going to do cheapest viable brand new parts, then like a mid-range quality build, and then how much does AM5 cost? However, we're kind of low. We're low on time, kind of thing. Let's see how much AM5 actually costs in the real world today. So yeah, spec an entry level PC. Maybe we'll come back to that one. I want to know how much AM5 actually costs right now. Nearly 3 hours. Are we going to do an early wrap up? This is supposed to be 2 hours. Well, yeah, we aim for 3 hours now, I think, don't we? So, okay, right. To Google. Google the Google. Right. Let's see. So, what are we going to do? PC part picker?
Yeah.
UK.
The cheapest AM5 motherboard is £293.99.
Okay, we'll get to that in a sec then.
Which is the ASRock X670 EPG
Right.
Lightning.
What CPU are we going to do though? Are we going to do a 7600X? Doesn't make sense for what the price point we're going to end up with it at. Blair. But we know that the motherboard and the RAM are going to be expensive, so there's no point in speccing this as a cheap as chips PC. We may as well go 7700X.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7700X.
Well, the Orosot Master is 500 quid.
But that's the interesting thing. The 7600X is more or less the same performance in gaming. That's the frustrating part of this.
Oh yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
It's the same as the 5600 and the 7950X.
Yeah.
Or the 5900 and the 5600.
Yeah. All right, well, let's stick a 7700X on it, and you can basically just add another £100 for the what's the 7900X cost? $571. What?
Yeah, it's basically the same price as the 5900 did.
Screw that. Is it? No, was the 5900 571? Well, you know, high 500s. Damn, son.
Yeah, because the 5950X was 750.
Gross. This is why I love the 5800X, because you could pick them up for less than 300 quid. It's a bonkers CPU. It's a nonsense CPU. It doesn't make sense. That's why I love them. Everyone hates the 5800X. I'm just like, my dude, they're so cheap. Fine, okay, 7700X then. And if you want to go with the 7600X to make it as cheap as possible, just minus 100. For reference, dollars to pounds are going to be roughly comparable. So if you're in the US, you could this is probably about $424. Let's find out actually. Hang on a sec. PCPartPicker.com. CPU 7700X.
Cheapest AM5 board you can get. Look at all the USB though.
Damn, son. That's a lot of USB. Yeah, like they're expensive, but they're good. That's the problem. There's no low-end boards. But we'll get to that in a sec. So, all right. So that's very depressing. The 7700X is $400 or £425. Put that in your noggin and cry.
What? What did you look at?
Where's my incognito window gone? 7700X, £424 or $400.
Oh, it is the 77. Okay, I thought you said you selected the 77.
That's very depressing. It should be the other way around at best. Anyway, okay, £424. So be it.
Yeah, but you need to add 10 or 15% to that US dollar price.
What, for tax?
Because sales tax is applied at basket, not at list.
Okay, yeah. So it's going to end up being about the same then.
So it's going to be similar.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. Plus tax. Yeah, I forget. You have to advertise with tax in the UK. So we're just used to seeing it with tax. All right. We're going to need a CPU cooler with that. And we're going to want, what, a 280 AIO or a 240 AIO?
280.
Yeah. All right. Liquid freezer 280. That's a sensible man's choice for cost effective. Oh, EK 280 DRGB.
Yeah, it's the old one.
Still,
it's the first gen one.
Yeah, for 100.
I'd rather have the liquid freezer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's do sensible man then. However, if you want RGB, add a tenner, and you can get yourself the EK.
Don't forget, it's not the EK you've got.
No. But still,
yeah, just statement. It's not the one you've got.
Yeah, but it's going to be good enough though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not crap.
No, absolutely, it's fine. But it is not the one that you have.
Yes, I understand that. However, 120 quid to have an EK badge on it is pretty good.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so that's cooling. Motherboard. Right. So we're doing X670 then. Okay, we've got the compatibility feature. Why an AIO?
Why not?
Yeah, you're going to need a high-end air cooler or an AIO.
I was going to say, you'd want a high-end cooler on it.
Anyway. All of the tests show that the CPU will run at 95 degrees, and the more cooling you throw at it, the faster it will go, up to a ceiling. And most people are saying that an AIO will get you the best performance. You can air cool them, but you're going to lose speed with an air cooler, basically.
Yeah. Unless it's not going to be much.
No, not going to be much. Unless it's a massive air cooler, and massive air coolers are going to run you 70 or 80 quid anyway for like a Noctua or a Dark Rock or something like that, isn't it?
And it's just kind of a case.
So you may as well pay another 40 quid and get an AIO. Again, for the price point that we're speccing at here.
It's also kind of a case of just, as you've said, it's the thing as well, is just the fact of if you're looking at it from here, from the point of view of selling it from here, the AIO, the mass is mounted to the case.
Yeah.
Whereas with an air cooler, the mass is mounted to the motherboard.
Yeah.
And you've got the person carrying that computer home. So it's kind of a case of just wanting to avoid that other issue.
Yeah.
And it gives you more performance.
Yeah.
Etc. So it's kind of those things. It's a case of
it's desirable, isn't it?
There are certainly benefits.
Yeah. Okay then. So let's see. How do we sort?
Clicking sort. The box sort up.
Oh yes, yeah. I was like, I need help here. I'm sorry.
The sort box. The box that says sort.
Yeah.
The box that sorts.
What was the cheapest price that you said
you
found? Okay, yeah.
That is the cheapest AM5 board.
And that's an X670E. I thought there was supposed to be a non-E. Or
I don't know if they've launched yet. Oh yeah, they apparently have. The X670 Aorus Elite has launched.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Elite AX is great at 330. Yeah. What does that look like? 317. So you may as well go for an Aorus Elite at that point. You're either going to go for 300 or you're going to pay another 30 quid for the Aorus Elite. So the ASRock,
annoyingly, only has one picture.
Yeah.
One part picker.
Wow, that's threadbare. This is exactly what I was afraid of. This is a basic motherboard that just has the top-end chipset on it. I mean, it's going to have decent VRM because it's obligated to. But, like, the audio circuit is threadbare. It's got 2 SATAs on it. It's only got one USB Type-C connector on it.
Yeah, and then a standard, and then 2 standard USB 3s.
Does it have 2? Oh yeah, it has got 2 USB 3s. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because like, don't get me wrong, most cases are only going to have a single Type-C connector on them anyway.
Front panel. Yeah.
Yeah, front panel.
Front panel connector.
Yeah. However, we're talking these motherboards are supposed to be flagship motherboards, and we're paying £300 for them. I expect it to have 2 Type-C connectors for the front panel for future-proofing, So, yeah. Only got 2 M.2s on it, but then I don't care about that. But again, it kind of showed, oh no, it's got 3. There's 1 in the middle there. Oh no, there's 4. There's 2 of them with things and another 2 without.
1 Gen 5, 1 Gen 4.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, there's a bit more there than I thought.
1 Gen 5, 1 Gen 4, 1 Gen 3?
Yeah.
Oh no. 2 Gen.
It's not exactly pretty though, is it? It's just, all the art is in the silkscreen.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, there's 4 M.2s. Yeah, I'm just reading this wrong. 1 Gen 5.
Yeah.
1 Gen 4 by 4? What? Yeah, 1 Gen 4 by 4. 1 Gen 4 by 2. 1 Gen 4 by 4. Eh?
I'm not even going to try and
Gen 3 by
this.
4. Sorry, Gen 3 by 4. Yeah. Basically, you've got all of them, then you've got 4 SATA.
Fair enough.
And there's also, apparently, support for U.2. That's cool.
Oh, those are probably the 2 ports I saw on the side then in that case.
They were 2 high stacks of SATA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a conversion kit you can get to give you U.2.
Yeah, fair enough.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good for a consumer motherboard, yeah.
Yeah.
By comparison, though, for another 35 quid, you could have this motherboard, and that seems to be a no-brainer for me. Like, this PC...
That is really simple and actually really quite pretty.
Yeah, but like straight away, this has got a lot more functionality on it. You've got all of the other things. You've got RGB. You've got better. There's nicer audio on there. Have we got to? No, still only a single Type C connector. It looks like I'm expecting too much there.
What's the little thing to the right?
Hang on a sec. Let me bring up the actual Gigabyte page for this, just so we can get a closer look at that.
Yeah.
Daybreak is coming.
Imagine buying a AM5 motherboard and it being made by BioStar.
Yeah.
What is 11?
11. I think that's Thunderbolt.
11 gigabyte adding card.
Yeah, it's Thunderbolt.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, the audio is average on it, but then I don't think that actually matters anyway. But it's just a case of, well, if you're paying more, what are you getting for your money? And normally, nicer or more built-up audio is one of the things that you will be getting. But yeah. Okay. Either way, though, for another £35, this is visually a much nicer motherboard, and also because it's the Aorus Elite, you know it's actually going to be half decent as well. So yeah, it seems like a no-brainer to buy this motherboard at the price point that we're speccing at. Well, are those Japanese caps? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay, so it's going to be that then, isn't it? Boop, boop. Yeah. And this is the problem with AM5, is that we've had to spend $335 for a motherboard that makes sense. Like in a couple of months, what's the B series going to be? B670 or B650?
Sorry, B650.
B650, yeah. Yeah, when B650 drops, hopefully we should be seeing sensible motherboards for £150. Like they said, as low as 100, but I think that's probably going to be probably going to be for something you don't actually want to buy, but theoretically you could.
Yeah, absolutely. But also just a case of it actually even just existing is obviously nice.
The motherboard that you want to buy is probably going to be 150 for a B650. So again, the point being, straight away that is a massive price drop from 335. So
yeah,
but that's why we're not speccing with the 7600X, because the 7600X is going to be a killer CPU when B650 is out. So yeah, $100 will probably be an A series. No, they said about $100 for a B650 motherboard.
I think it was $120.
$120 starting from, yeah.
From the B650s. And the
it's probably going to have one DDR slot on it, though, you know.
Well, if it only has two, if it only has one DIMM per channel, that makes it a better board.
Yeah.
That makes it arguably a better board. The only reason we have 4 dimmer boards is because the average consumer is stupid.
True.
And goes, oh, it's only got 2 DIMM slots.
Yeah.
And doesn't understand actually anything about it.
Yeah. No one actually needs 4 DIMMs. Yeah. Unless and
the cheap boards don't need 4 DIMMs.
Yeah,
the expensive boards need 4 DIMMs because actually you're sticking 128 gigs of RAM in them.
Yeah.
Because you're actually building mini workstations with the higher end boards. So
yeah, I think that's reasonable, and just
certainly on DDR5 when
don't buy to upgrade, just buy the amount of memory you need. You can always sell your memory kit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was going to say certainly with DDR5, where obviously the density is doubled over DDR4 again.
4 DIMMs is a must.
For
every computer in this shop and my computer at home is using a 2 DIMM kit.
I've only got 4 DIMM.
Yeah.
4 DIMMs because I specifically wanted to buy B-die and have 32 gigs of RAM.
Yeah. But okay. Well, on the subject of RAM, DDR5. Are we still on cheapest first, lowest price, lowest to highest? You get 8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, 8 gig module for 40 quid.
Oh wow! So you could buy 2 of those and have 16 gigs for 80 quid. That's a lot cheaper than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's 4800, so it's slow as balls.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Where's
same.
It say 4800 there.
That's the same as buying DDR20. you know, 2333.
Yeah.
2300. Fuck, what the hell is it?
Yeah.
I don't deal with such low speeds.
Right. So what speeds do we want?
6,000.
6,000. Okay. Is that our minimum viable, or is 56?
No, that's the recommended.
Okay. Yeah.
Because also we're talking about
Yeah.
£58.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We're talking
£58,
£19.
So £120 for 16 gigs there. So let's roll down to the 16 gig kits and see if we can find something for 120. So
there you go. There's 16 there for 56.
52.
Oh no, that's sorry, a 16 gig module.
Oh yeah, single mod. Yeah.
The better thing to do would be to scroll up a bit, go sort by, and then go price per gigabyte. Down a bit. There you go. Price per gigabyte ascending. So it'll give you the best value per gigabyte.
God, single 32 gig modules for 133.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you see how kind of my comment of DDR5 isn't actually that expensive?
Yeah.
When you start looking at the capacities, because the density has doubled.
Yeah.
The prices are high. Don't get me wrong.
But
that's they're not the crazy high that you kind of think they are.
Right. I'm scrolling down until I see
you can get 30...
DDR 6000.
Hold on. Go up a couple. You've got
64.
Oh no, that was a 52. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
4800 there for that. Hell no.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
You can set speed filters and stuff as well.
Yeah. Should we set a filter for 6,000 minimum?
No. Set it to
56. 56.
Yeah. Up a bit. Up.
Oh.
You've gone past it.
Yeah.
There. No. Left. Drag the left up. There you go. Down. There you go. Click the arrow in the top left.
There we go. Right,
so that's the best value for money one.
Yeah.
Is that 64 gigs of what is reasonably high performance RAM.
So are we going to spec with 32 gigs or 16 gigs? Because 16 is still fine for a typical gaming PC. But for, again, the price point we're specing.
You do not want to buy 8 gig modules, I don't think. I think it's 8 gig modules that are garbage tier for DDR5.
Oh, are they?
I can't remember, yeah.
So are we saying that we need a 32 gig kit, otherwise we're going to have shit tier RAM?
I think so. Because they do something weird with whatever the bottom capacity is, where they cut the number of channels in half.
Okay. So I guess we're going 32 gigs for safety then. So in which case, 171 is what we're looking at then for 5600. If we wanted 6000, what's it going to take to get 6000? 56, 56, 56.
Yeah. 6,000 is expensive.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, there is, hold on, can you click on the Patriot Vipers for me? I just want to see a bigger picture.
Kit.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nicely updated design for DDR5.
Probably going to see a lot of those about, given how prevalent the DDR4 version of those modules were.
Yeah.
Because they still look good today.
Yeah, but it was also a case of those modules were particularly good because they were guaranteed Samsung D die.
True.
And we still don't know what die we want for DDR5 specifically.
Right, that's a single module. 6,000. Kingston Fury Beast. 32 gigs. 6,000 is going to run you 220. So let's open that in a new tab. Where was our sweet spot for this? Was that the Fury Beast for the 5600? Yeah. And there's some people who are just like, oh, never Kingston. I'm not being a brand snob at the moment. I don't have an issue with Kingston memory. So yeah.
I was going to say, this computer doesn't have the budget for you to be memory snobbish in a fashion that will actually affect performance.
Yeah.
Because picking some other brand of memory on this isn't going to make a difference to the actual performance.
Yeah.
So I cannot remember any of the stuff to be like, oh yeah, this one is M die and that one's A die and stuff like that.
Yeah. Ignore me misclicking everyone.
What are you doing?
Is 220 for 6,000 or it's 171 or 172 for 5600? So that's
50
quid. That's 50 quid.
Wow. That's not worth.
No,
That's not worth.
no. I think
Especially as I'd try running that 56 at 6,000 anyway.
Yeah. Like, is 5,800 a thing?
I mean, it doesn't seem to be
value-wise
on this list.
No, we haven't spotted it at any point, have we? So yeah, you'd just go for the 5,600, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, memory.
The recommended for Ryzen 7000 is 6,000, which is DDR5 6000 running at 3,000 megahertz.
Right, what are we going to put in it? 2 1 terabyte drives, or are we just going to stick in a 1 terabyte and just say add storage as you see fit?
How much is the cheapest 2 terabyte SSD? If you go filters,
yeah,
and then scroll down a bit, and then click SSD. There, SSD. And then drag that capacity.
Let's go
to 19 whatever it is. Yeah, there you go.
Let's go 1900 minimum,
and then just click back.
And then let's do sorts lowest to highest.
126 quid. Bloody
yeah,
hell. That's not bad.
Which is the good Western Digital again?
I say the SN850, but that's also going to be a £300 drive right now.
Yeah, that's fair. The SN750 is not going to be garbage, though, is it?
Chris says the SN750 is good as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a black. Oh, yeah, the SN750 is a WD black.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, it's going to be certainly not awful.
Yeah, so 126. You get a 980 Pro for 90 quid on Prime Day. Yeah.
But it's not Prime Day.
Yeah, precisely. This is not... yeah, what you can get on sale is against the rules. It's what can I buy right now? You know?
Because going to your customer when they've walked in and said, oh, I want to build a computer, you go, don't worry, sir, I can build you your computer in July 2023.
Yeah. So... And like, you know, this is generalized. This is approximations. You know, if you can pick up deals, then great. But deals don't count toward what can anyone get.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing now is anyone can play along at home right now and build a similar system to this. That's the idea.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, that Western Digital is looking pretty good as a main drive.
Yeah, it still amazes me that the MX500 is doing so well for value.
It's still a good drive. That's the thing. Like, it might be limited to 500 megs a second, but it'll do 500 megs a second all day long, baby.
Yeah.
And I've got an MX500 in my PC at home.
Yeah.
I've got my PC at home. It's running a 1 terabyte Windows drive.
Yeah,
I've got a 2 terabyte games drive.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I've got another 2 terabyte archive drive that's an MX500 2 terabyte. And that's the thing. And I was a bit like, I don't want to put a 2.5-inch SSD in my PC. However, it does 500 megs a second all day long.
Yeah.
Whereas my 2 terabyte P2, that does 1,000 megabytes per second for about 30 seconds and then goes down to about 100.
Yeah, but that 30 seconds at 2 gigabytes a second.
Yes. Yeah. However, my point being, so now it's enough for burst speeds.
Yeah, that's still a significant chunk of data. So it's kind of
I think,
but it's just depressing to see the fact that it's just like, or I could just consistently do 500 gigs.
Yeah. Whereas seeing just that solid 500 megs a second all day long, it's a very good drive. The MX500 is incredibly reliable.
Yeah.
I've fitted a lot of... I fit MX500s as for all of the SSDs that I put in customer laptops and stuff like that. I think I've had maybe 1 failure, maybe 2, and I've fitted hundreds, literal hundreds of them.
Yeah. Oh, God, I wouldn't want to look at your Amazon history for MX500 orders.
There's a lot of them, yeah. Like, I mean, there's 10 of them on the shelf over there right now.
Oh, you found another 10?
I buy them on eBay now. Yeah, I buy them on eBay. It's a little bit of a roll of the dice, but like, if you get screwed, you get your money back because eBay buyer protection.
Yeah.
And you know, I can find MX500 500 gig drives for 42 quid on eBay.
Oh my God!
And if you try,
how much are the SATA USB enclosures again?
7 quid. So you can have a 500 gig like decent SSD in an external enclosure that'll do 300 or 400 megs a second for 50 quid. You know, and it's just like you can't beat that value, man.
Especially
There are cheaper drives out there, like the BX and stuff like that. But with a good SSD, you can't beat that.
Yeah, damn.
And like the 1 terabyte version, you can find that in the mid 60s.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
It's the only thing that annoys me is the fact that we've not seen 4 terabyte drives come below like 600 quid.
Yeah, there's obviously some kind of
quid.
capacity barrier there.
Yeah, because I would be really interested in a 4 terabyte SSD for like 350 quid.
Yeah. Yeah,
350? About 350.
Would you stipulate that it needs to be M.2?
No.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah.
It must be an MX500 or equivalent.
Yeah, class. Yeah.
Or like I'd accept like an 870 Pro, like a Samsung 870 Pro.
Mm.
870 Pro MX500, that sort of class.
Yeah. It's a P3 apparently. Is the P3 any good? Does anyone know?
I don't know. The thing that will be look at it on the Crucial website and see if it mentions having cache.
Crucial P3. I didn't think they said at all what the specs were these days. I thought they were really naughty about that, and they just don't say anything. Generous storage, high quality innovation, blah 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 blah. My understanding is these days they just don't tell you jack. They will just don't tell you. This is what I hate modern SSD marketing.
Scroll up a bit, because there was a model number. If you just search the 2 terabyte model number, and just see what results come up in pictures. No one's popped the cover off.
Oh, you're going to see if you could see it.
If you scroll up a bit, there was a review from PC somewhere.
Oh, wow.
On the right-hand side.
I just spotted... Yeah, that doesn't say anything. Okay.
No. That was a review from PC Mag.
How do I
at the top.
Crucial, CCL Online.
Scroll down a bit.
Subsupply, anyway.
Where's that gone?
I mean, I could just go back to web results.
There. It's there. It's the one
PC
on the right.
Mag.
Yeah, it was just a fact of because they had their own photo of the drive.
I see, yeah.
So I was just like, they actually picked up the drive.
Yeah.
What were the cons?
Cons, relatively low write durability ratings.
Not a problem.
All specs.
Oh, it says DRAMless. Scroll down a bit. DRAMless drive of QLC flash.
Yeah, so it's mediocre then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. Okay. So
ECC error correction RAM. What?
So in that case, given that we can't find a tasty-looking SSD for less than 150 in the 2 terabyte range, that SN750 at 126, that's a bargain then, isn't it?
Yeah. How much is an MX500?
Because even if it's only mediocre, MX500 is 140. Yeah. So like even if this is only mediocre at 126, it's a bargain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you want something performance, then fine, add that to the final spec afterwards yourself. So yeah, add that. That's our storage.
Can you just go back into storage and just look at and just stick in SN850?
Sure. Add additional storage. SN850. SN850, 1 terabyte for 120.
280 for the 2 terabyte one. Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah.
Oh, they do a 4 terabyte one now. But it's also 600 quid.
Big oof. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was like 350 quid for a 4 terabyte one, I'd absolutely get one of them.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, hypothetically, going with a 1 terabyte, I think if I were building this for myself, I'd probably go SN850 1 terabyte, and then I'd slap in like a 2 terabyte cheap SSD for mass storage. and buy the cheapest 2 terabyte SSD I can find, or something like that.
That was the second cheapest 2 terabyte SSD.
That's
was
true,
the SN750.
Fine, yeah. If you want mega high speed, then add on another £100 for an SN850 for your C drive. Then in that case,
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, it'd be a case of the only way I'd do it any differently is buy that SN850 and then spend what, 150 quid-ish on buying a decent 8 terabyte drive.
Yeah.
8 terabyte mechanical.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. Right. We'll come back to the video card. Let's just slap in case power supply. Case. I'm going to put it in a 4000D. Oh God, the 4000D airflow is 110 quid these days.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Doesn't even come with fans, or like the fans that you'd actually use.
Turn Up Gaming, thank you for the $5. Didn't realise that 2 terabyte, 2.5 inch SSDs started becoming that cheap to purchase these days. Also, I saw one that was still around 200 quid. Yeah, absolutely, they're coming down. I don't think we'll ever see 2 terabyte SSDs below £100. Just because I think that's a true manufacturing price.
Yeah.
Manufacturing and shipping price floor.
Yeah, because like we know the 500 gig SSDs are at a price floor because the MX500 was getting lower and lower and lower, and it got down to the low 40s and hasn't budged for a long time.
Yeah, and I think it's surprising.
That's why that's why I was going like £42 for it, because it struggled to get anywhere near £40 for a while.
But it's also just the fact that it's quite impressive and it's stayed at that price. It hasn't crept back up. Because you'd think that even if it just went up to £43, that £1 might be an increase of 25% in margin.
Yeah, big time. Nope, they don't have the Galax. Galax stuff just isn't around in the UK, it seems.
Yeah. I need to double my hard drive size every PC because I basically conglomerate everything into one. Damn it, Chris.
There's the Pop XL. That's the big boy one. Yeah. I'm going to stick this in a Pop Air because I like that case. And the case is very much personal preference, but about 100 quid for a case is very fair, I think. If you want to spend a bit extra on the case, you're more than welcome to. So, yeah.
Oh, cool. In Switzerland, you can get the 4 terabyte 870 Evo for about £312. Because it's 344 Swiss francs. Swiss francs.
Very good. Yeah. 40 gigs are only dropping to 35 on the regular. Yeah. Yeah. The budget drives, so the 480 gig class drives, they are viable. I just steer away from them because I've had a couple of bad BX 500s. I've had a couple of them fail on me. And the MX 500s, because I'm a high street shop and I want to command high street prices, I pick the MX 500 so I can say this is the best 2.5 inch drive, except for maybe the Samsung, which is 1% faster and twice the price, kind of thing. Whereas the BX 500, it's a case of it's fine depending on the circumstance, but then if you're building down to a price, then it's your best friend.
Yeah.
So it's swings and roundabouts there.
What are you gonna stick in this? An RM850X?
I think so. Yeah. The going rate for them at RM850X 2021, £123 at the moment. I'm just looking if there's anything nice for under 100 quid. Because
what about the EVGA?
Supernova, something or other, yeah.
The EVGA BQ 700 or something. Is it BQ? I can't remember.
Hang on a sec, let's get the sorting. Price, lowest to highest, and let's filter. All wattage. Oh God, they go up to 2050. Let's start at 600.
Oh yeah, it's the GD.
BQ.
I think it's the GD.
500 GD, yeah. Oh, that's 80 plus gold. Not bad. Yeah, 600 watts, 80 plus gold for 50 quid. Yeah. I'd like to put in something with more watts than that for future also because a PC like this, we're expecting 3070 class graphics card, I think, aren't we?
Yeah.
Being realistic, you know, again, if you're spending this money,
yeah.
I mean, the problem is it's very easy to say, well, if you're spending this money, you may as well buy more. And it's like, well, this is why it's expensive. But again, this all boils down to the fact of if you're putting in a £330 motherboard, then, you know.
Yeah, the 700 watt GD is £75.
Oh, yeah. 850 BQ.
The BQ is a bronze.
Oh,
the
yeah.
GD is a gold.
Is a gold, yeah.
Not that it particularly means anything. However,
it's a good guideline, isn't it?
The GD is a better power supply anyway.
Yeah.
The GD is the ones that I bought.
Yeah.
They are boring as sin power supplies, but they're high quality.
Yeah, and
they're just annoyingly
£75.
They're just annoyingly noisy.
Yeah, and then if we go up to a supernova,
I don't know if the supernovas are actually any better.
Well, the supernova gives us modular. So
fair enough.
Yeah, so it's a case of a supernova is going to net you 110 for a 750. So for 110 we get that. At this price point, personally, I'm inclined to put the supernova in it.
See, I'd rather put an RM in there.
True, yeah, but
yeah, take out the EVGA. Just don't filter it, and just list all power supplies.
650 and up. Corsair CV. Be quiet. Da, 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 da.
Thermaltake German.
I was also looking at that. It's like, okay.
Are we going to see a Thermaltake France next year?
Seasonic Core 69, nice. VS 600 for 75 quid. No thanks.
Oof.
TX 650M. God, that's not a good price. Those went at 50 quid not long ago.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know.
I'd rather have the GD.
Yeah.
Personally.
Absolutely. Okay, it's going to be the Corsair RM at this point. RM 650.
Really?
Okay, we're finding them now.
Oh no! Apparently, Carrie Holtzman was saying that the Corsair and Seasonic PSUs are unreliable.
In comparison to what?
To EVGAs. I was just like, no.
No.
If that is a statement that they have actually made, I'm almost certain they are.
Sorry, Carrie, but no.
Misquoted.
Yeah.
Ill-informed or paid.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, mate.
Sure, if you're comparing to the Seasonic S3 range, they were a terrible range of Seasonic power supplies.
Yeah, plus also, like, again, you know, the Corsair VS power supplies are crap as well, you know. Oh, well, crap might be a bit strong, but it's a budget series. If you compare an EVGA, Supernova versus a Corsair VS or a Seasonic S3, then of course the EVGA is better.
Yeah.
But come on, let's compare. Let's compare in class, please.
Oh, there's a RM 750 there for 80 something.
RM 750. Where was that?
Scroll up a little bit. There, a white one.
Oh yeah, £90. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I think that's reasonable. That might be our pick at 90 quid. I think that's a good balance point. RM 650.
Oh man, an Earth Watts.
Who's that? Enemax?
Haven't seen that name in ages.
Now there's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Of course I know him. It's me.
I'm him. 750X white. 750. RM 850 for 100.
And no, it's Antec Earth Watts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think. Oh, so 850 for 100, and that gets you an RM. And what was the other one that I'd highlighted? 90. or 90, it was a 750. I think that's pretty good bang for buck, personally. Let's slap one of them in it. Bam. All right, power supply done. Right, we don't care about any of that stuff. Current total is 1352. That's not bad. No graphics card yet, though.
Yeah.
And yeah, the graphics card is what's going to destroy the budget now.
It's basically £2,000 PC.
Yeah.
Which isn't terrible.
Yeah. But it does confirm if you want. Well, yeah, this will be. This is more or less a top end PC, you know, within reason. So video card. Okay. So what are we gonna do then? Are we looking at 30 well 3080. What have you got?
Double check how much a no, I'd put a 6900 in for that price.
Price lowest to highest. 730 for a 3080.
How much is a 6900 new?
6900 XT, 720.
Oh.
How does the 6900 XT compare versus the 3080 again?
It's about the same.
Yeah.
Against the 10 gigabyte, yeah, it's about the same. It's slightly slower.
Yeah.
It's slightly slower than the 12 gigabyte one. Is it 12? Whatever the other 3080.
Yeah, it was a 12. 3080.
Yeah, because that's a 10 gigabyte one, and then the other one's a 12. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a 12 for you'd buy the 12 gigabyte for an extra 10 quid, no brainer.
Yeah, which will then be faster than the 16.
And if you really want to, you can spend another 10 quid on top of that to get an MSI, so you get a nice one.
Yeah, but that's only a 10 gig.
Oh yeah, again. Balls. Yeah.
What's that in 3D look like? Has that got a fat cooler on it?
Damn, that's outrageous.
Oh yeah, it's the 4-fan one.
Oh my god, what is that? What are those?
It's a 4-fan.
What are those? A 4-fan. That's a 3.1 fan.
It's my tweeter.
What are those?
Oh no, my shoes.
That's a no from me, dog. Yeah, that's a no from me. I'd take the palette because, you know, like the palette is dull, but, you know, it's fine, you know.
I really like that design.
It's fine, yeah.
I really like that design.
I like it with the RGB off. I don't like the. I think the RGB makes it look chintzy. If you
I mean, that's just the description of RGB.
Yeah, but yeah, sure. If you unplug the RGB from one of these, I think they are. Yeah, see, when you add in the lighting, I think it looks a bit chintzy. But no lighting.
But I also just like the fact that it's a really short card.
Yeah, it's a very sensitive.
Sorry, it's a really narrow. It's a really narrow card.
Yes, because it's exactly the height of the PCI slot. It doesn't extend. Like if you notice over here, it doesn't extend above the PCI.
It's
slot.
Like this much.
Yeah, and that's really uncommon for classes of cards of this class.
Yeah, the 3090 is the same.
Yeah. Yeah, so
no, go for the PMY. It's a 12 gig.
Oh yeah, because it's 12 gig. Yeah. Okay, so are we going to slap in? So we're going with a 12 gig 3080 or a 6900 XT?
Depends. I mean, it doesn't. I need to double check what the price is.
But yeah. I mean, for the sake of getting this done, yeah, there you go.
If you're restricted to new prices only,
I mean that's the rules.
If you're eBaying, I'd stick a 3090 in there because it's the same price.
Agreed. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very well then. Yeah. So £2,100. Add. What margin would you want?
10%.
10%. Yeah. So add 200 quid on. So 2,300.
Yeah.
2,300 sale price.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
Mm.
It's high.
It's
definitely high.
That's the thing.
I want another £100 off that motherboard.
Yeah.
But
however, it's also a matter of like you go to PC Specialist, you go to Chill Blast, you go to insert system integrator of your choice.
Do they make PCs?
I don't know if they're still about, but they do. They're a system integrator. Yeah, Chill Blast.
Huh.
Yeah.
I
had one in this week. Yeah.
I've only ever seen like parts.
Yeah. No, Chill Blast are an SI. Yeah.
Huh. Fair enough.
But yeah, anyway, go to an SI of your choice. You spec one of these up. It ain't going to come in at less than 2300.
Oh, 3090s have gone up.
So yeah. That's more expensive to build than your 3950X. Yeah, but your 3950X isn't a 7000 series. It's not even a 5000 series. That's the point of this experiment. It's not about what is good bang for buck. It's about if someone walks through the door and says, the new Ryzen CPUs are out and I want one, how much does it actually cost? That's the thing. If we want value, this ain't it, Chief.
Yeah.
However, if you want a Ryzen 7700X PC that is spec'd appropriately for the class and you know for what you're at, because you know if you want to go the cheapest chips Ryzen 7000, then you shouldn't be buying it at all yet. It doesn't make sense because you have to spend £300 on the motherboard. So if you're going to spec a PC where the motherboard costs £300, what else are you buying?
Huh. That's not awful.
Oh, you're talking about when it was new. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
That's not awful.
Things cost more than they used to. 3090. Oh yeah, on eBay.
It's the PN.
Yeah,
the PNY
3090 for 700 quid.
XLR8 version. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can get a second-hand 3090 for 700 quid,
which is nutty.
Yeah.
Again, but yeah. The other thing to compare, if you take out the CPU and the RAM and the motherboard and replace it with 5800X3D.
Yeah.
And just see what comparison that does us.
Okay.
Also, I'm not entirely certain what you did there to get that view.
Neither me.
It was quite impressive.
Okay, right.
Oh, did you click Save As?
I haven't clicked that yet, but what I want is I want to duplicate this. Let's save as.
No, hold on.
I want to get a side by side. So
just open an incognito tab.
Yeah, hang on a sec. There we go. Now I can edit this, can't I? Edit this part list. Okay, right. So ditch the CPU.
Ditch the motherboard. Ditch the RAM.
Ditch the motherboard. Ditch the RAM.
Then stick a 5800X3D in there.
$418, yeah, for what was until like last week the fastest gaming CPU. Yeah. So motherboard.
To keep it a comparison, put in the X570 Aorus Elite, because that's the same one, isn't it?
Aorus Elite, yeah, 250.
X570, no, X570S Aorus Elite AX 248.
Yeah. Yep, so same class motherboard. So yeah, we're going in with top end CPU, same class motherboard, and DDR4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put in Viper Steels.
Yeah, Viper Steel.
Yeah, and then you want the £108 one.
Oh yeah, the 4400 stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nuts, isn't it? £110 for basically the best DDR4 you can buy.
Yeah. And you'll probably want to add 2 kits of that, because then that'll take you to 32, which will be the same.
Yeah.
Add additional.
Quantity 2. We're going to have 3 in there now, aren't we? Yes. Ditch one of those.
There was a compatibility issue because he just said, I want 6 RAM.
Yeah. Fine, there we go. So guaranteed B die on that.
Yeah.
So that's basically the best DDR4 you're going to get. Everything else the same. And we land at 2042.
Yeah.
About the same.
Yeah.
There you go then. So yeah, so AM5 is actually priced very well. There's just no low end. However, if you're buying high end, it makes absolute sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Yeah. It actually ends up being basically the same.
Yeah.
You can tweak these prices, but like again at the 2,000 when you're talking about £2,000 plus minus £100 or so doesn't matter.
Yeah.
100 quid on the Movo, yeah. So I mean, you could start. That's the thing is, you could start chipping away at this. You could drop the motherboard down. You could take them 100 off for the motherboard. You could go down to a 16 gig RAM kit and take off another £100. So that's £200 you've just saved already. You could drop down to a 5800X non 3D and probably get another £100. That's £300 you've knocked off. However, also we're going down to a lower class PC now.
Yeah. Well, it's a case of unless you're using the 5800X 3D, you just build 12th gen Intel because it will be faster.
Yeah. Yeah, and 12th gen is really good bang for buck.
Yeah.
A friend of mine this week, my friend who came in and bought half of that PC, I was trying to sell him this secondhand, and I think I offered like 200 and something for this platform with memory and stuff like that, and he said, "Oh, I can get a 12th gen i5 motherboard, RAM, and CPU bundle for £330."
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah,
I can't beat that.
Yeah.
That's really good. Like it was a bottom tier motherboard, etc. etc. It wasn't great stuff, but he got himself an Alder Lake i5 with a motherboard and RAM for 330 quid.
Yeah.
That's stonking good bang for buck.
Yeah, absolutely. Assuming the price actually holds on this, and you actually get it for that price, £356 for a 5800X on eBay.
250.
350. Yeah, that's a good price.
Shouldn't they be like 300?
No, they're 5800X 3Ds.
Oh, is that for the X3D?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I blanked for a moment there.
It's like, that's reasonably good.
Fair enough. Yeah.
The other question, I guess, will be, what's the AliExpress price?
That will get you the Rosen, yeah. Right. Before we close out, I really need to pop to the bathroom. I'll be back in just a moment.
Okay, very well. I am just...
Because I've been bursting for a while now, and I'm like, nope, I can't make it to the end of the stream. Sorry.
Very well. 5800X 3D, 393 quid off of AliExpress is the first price listed. So that's not terrible. I do enjoy searching for like processors and things on AliExpress and just getting random results like a drawing tablet or a result for a plushie, results for a RAM module. I mean, at least RAM modules are somewhat relevant. Wait, what? 6600 XT, £220. That seems suspicious. Oh, do love AliExpress. Yeah. Did it fall off of a truck? Yeah. Right, Chris, you'll back me up on this. The amount of adverts there are for sex toys on AliExpress or just them as recommended products when you're looking at like graphics cards or micro switches and stuff is random, and they seem to get pushed super hard. It's a time. Yes, exactly. All the anime boob mouse mats. But the mouse mats kind of make sense because I presume you're looking at keyboard and mice. So at least they're somewhat relevant. Anyway, are we going to wrap up now?
Probably.
Do you have anything to add?
I have nothing more to add, and I have nothing more to talk about.
Very well. I will allow you to microphone only to say goodbye.
I have enjoyed this conversation in English.
Well, if AliExpress is looking at my browser history, they're doing a terrible job because I always browse in an incognito tab.
They'd be doing a very good job if they were able to spy on your incognito.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have browser history, only browser future.
I've just started back reading the current conversation. I've enjoyed this conversation in English. We are leaving now immediately.
Thank you.
Oh, also, I don't know why we're on this particular thing.
Because that's what you set it to.
Yes, probably. All right.
I'm sorry. I can only help you so much.
It's true. No one can help me. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Yeah, we got stuff done. We've got that one is done. That one is done. And we talked about some PC specking. That's it. We'll
Absolutely.
be back. Are we? Yes, we are on next week. Yeah, next week is the 15th. Then the 22nd, we're both away, aren't we?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm away.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. Are you away on the 22nd, just to confirm?
I can't remember. It is a weekend this month.
Yeah,
I am away.
I'm away on the 22nd, which isn't next week, but the week after. So next week we'll be back with something else. And then, yeah, 22nd, I am definitely away. And if Caradog is as well, then there's definitely going to be no show. Or failing that, if I'm not here and Caradog is just like, well, I can't be asked, then there won't be anything either. And there won't be anything anyway.
Absolutely.
Good, right.
The opposite to EE. Nothing, nowhere.
E. The point is, we'll be back next week with something else. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. See y'all and soon. Not like Caradog is going to come in the shop and do a stream himself. Probably not, but if you wanted to, if you wanted to do something from home or organise something,
I was going to say I could very much stream from home.
Yeah, that's a thing that can be done. You could set something up if you wanted. If I were away and you were not,
Absolutely.
You're not
from a shed.
Yeah, I'm not required to be here. Good.
Anyway, this is it.
Yes.
Goodbye. Click end streaming.
I will. I was about to say. I just saw. Yeah, Nightbot seems to be super good. I've turned down Nightbot, but it just seems to not be working. So what I will turn off. I'll turn off the Nightbot emotes thing for now. Excess emotes disable. Oh, and there's symbols as well. We'll turn off emotes. We'll turn off emotes and symbols, and we'll see what happens for now, and we'll carry on tuning it. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. We're out of here. Thank you and goodbye. See you next week with something else. I've just got to find the stop streaming button wherever that is.
Down,
so, yeah.
left.
Now would be a good time to insert an advert.
Yes.
Goodbye, everyone.